I hadn't started either, so I'm kind of glad to.
Oh, because I said I was taking a shower, something that everybody does.
Well, no, ma'am. It sounded like you said you were doing something else in the bathroom. The traditional number
Something
two is
else.
what I call it.
Yeah, it starts with an S and ends and still.
Oh, because I was taking a shit.
He
Ma'am.
was doing
There
that.
you go,
Yeah.
madam. Very unladylike. How dare thee?
I mean, less ladylike and more I'm streaming on Twitch and guidelines. Violations.
That's not right. Leave me back to work. I can't say shit.
It's frowned upon, ma'am.
Hold on, what's being frowned upon?
What proves?
Generally, when people talk about why people say they need to take a bio break versus saying what they actually need to do in said bio break.
Ooh.
Actually, I just picked up bio break from watching other streamers.
Yes,
Yeah.
that came for a reason because Twitch guidelines they get a little funky sometimes.
It's like, man, I gotta go drop a dude.
Lame.
Well, you can't say that. I'm like, watch me.
That's lame.
Or you just gotta take the Browns to the Super Bowl. I mean, come on.
I mean, if all else fails, just make yourself.
It's like I shall return.
Look, man, I gotta do the thing that we all do.
Gotta do the thing.
Okay. The laboratory. I gotta go to the laboratory.
I gotta jump the kid up the pool.
The kids on the pool. All right.
You gotta take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
No, all of that. Stop all of it.
Stop all of it. It's like, hold up. I'm rated. My team rating to watch my stream at all. You have to be 18 years of age. Whether you abide by the guidelines and say the restrictions, saying, "Hey, you're not 18 years old. You can't go in here." That is not my problem anymore. Whether you are underage or not, you did it on your own.
Actually,
you had the chance to turn around.
Technically, by Twitch SOP, you have to monitor your chat.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody comes into your chat and says they are under 18 after you've marked yourself as a mature channel, you are obligated to ban them.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That's why a lot of streamers have the rule where you don't talk about age in the chat.
Self-moderation.
So I got Pyro for.
Damn, is he even getting paid?
Eventually.
No, I mean, the only reason I'm a moderator in any channel is that way I don't get banned.
That does kind of help save from banning him up out of that. All right. Would anyone like to recap what happened last?
I think we're off to save Luna. That's as far as I got.
Yeah, y'all are off the off the train.
All right, let's get on with the murdering of the colonization.
Don't sound so enthusiastic.
No, we're not gonna cull an entire tribe of freaking catfolk.
Y'all came in like colonizers. I came in like colonizers. We're
Oh, I thought you were telling us to cull them. I was like, no, that's not cool. What the hell's wrong with
What
you?
them? To what them?
To cull them. Like, basically, to
Kill 'em
go in
off.
and exterminate them.
Oh,
That's what I thought you said. I was like, well, hold up. We ain't doing that shit. That's not cool.
no, I didn't even know what that word meant.
We're not doing villain work yet. We'll say Sin hasn't died again.
I wouldn't have used that word because I don't know that word. So, yeah, no.
Well,
Gotcha.
learn a new thing every day.
All right, so to make things easier, when we last left off, Tahlu had agreed to start training with Tara at the Sindal Citadel and learning to use his Godkiller effectively. In the meantime, with Luna being located, why am I echoing? That's
Alex, Mike.
Shame.
It's not my fault. I blame Hassan. He set it up.
It's all good. I was hearing the echo and I wanted to make sure it wasn't me because I was messing with my settings beforehand. Luna escaping away from a magically enhanced adamantine golem that was trying to track her down and capture her, for as much as she knew. In her long, wild pursuit from trying to escape, turned into an air elemental, which she can do for quite some time, and sped full speed out towards the southeast. The southwest from Teleria.
No, it was the southeast, I think.
Oh yeah, you were trying to go east by southeast towards Aegis Island. You ended up going south by southeast. So you're in the general direction, but you passed in the dark.
Right.
Because elementals ain't got that great vision for a long distance. Ended up heading to the Mangwani Forest. And the Mangwani Forest is one of the largest known land masses that is virtually a massive landmass covered in trees and jungle and a tropical climate. And Luna did not stop once she hit the edge of the forest. Luna continued deep for hours, traveling at top speed as an air elemental into the forest. Finally deciding to land once the time ended out and to try to take a rest after being up for, at this point, over 24 hours. Falling into a slight slumber. Had a slight encounter with a nearby curious monkey, in which item was thrown back at the monkey. And then there was not a poison dart, but a dart that hit Luna in the neck, and she passed out. And woke up a bit later, groggily, still kind of out of it, being carried by what seemed to be large humanoid catfolk through the jungle.
Is that echo still happening?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
After being restrained, was taken to this large, completely golden temple where seemingly Luna was being held while they seemed to be trying to discuss what to do with Luna.
Blood for the blood god.
Mm-hmm. And while Luna broke free and attempted to shape change, this elderly catfolk lady apparently did something that forced her to change back into a Tiefling and broke her shape change.
This bitch.
And seemingly tried to murmur something to Luna in a language she didn't understand, but it seemed not aggressive, seemed very passive in the way she was saying it, speaking with a very soft and soothing voice as one does to a little scared kitten. Meanwhile, the rest of Team Moonshadow, along with Jace, were being sent after Luna, arrived in Mangwani Expanse. Jace cast Mass Fly on everyone, so that way you can traverse the massive jungle without having to deal with all of the shenanigans of the jungle itself. And also use Endure Elements because as the sun was baking over the edge of the horizon, literally it was about 90 degrees already here in the jungle. It was hot and humid. Alright, and that is where we pick up with our remaining members of Team Moonshadow, led by Jace, hovering in the sky with the sun behind them as the large golden temple is sitting here in the forest with multitudes of catfolk rummaging around, and Luna seemingly sitting in front of this elderly looking catfolk with a headdress. And that's where we'll pick things up with you, Luna.
Yeah? What about with me? What am I supposed to do?
What do you want to do? You're not being physically restrained.
Damn, I wish I had spoke some more languages, bro. I'd be so helpful.
Don't you have to talk to animals?
They're humanoids. They're technically not that kind of animal.
Yeah, they're speaking an actual humanoid language. Talk to animals would just be racist because
I mean,
speciesist.
Talking in bestiality. I'm not in bestialario. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, you used the wrong word.
That's why I had to stop. I was like, wait a minute, wrong.
No, Kaito, bad.
Are there animals around?
Here, yes. They seem to have these large, kind of almost elephant-like creatures. Looks like elephants that they use to seem to do heavy labor.
I'm gonna talk to an elephant and ask, what are they gonna do with me?
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh shit! Hold on. Yes. Okay. Oh, that's a 10. That's sad.
The elephant just kind of looks at you and just kind of says, I don't know. I just kind of work here. I'm not in charge of doing things. They just feed me and I pull stuff. And you see it kind of like stuff his mouth full of hay.
Wow, so helpful. I'm gonna perceive around here. and I already did that. Never mind.
You did. For those
Okay.
of you up in the sky, you now see that you can clearly see what looks to be Luna sitting there next to this elderly lady. But you can see that there seems to be multiple catfolk that are running up and grabbing weapons. Most seem to be having some type of spears, but you notice a lot of them also seem to have some type of short sword on their back. And they seem to be gathering themselves. While Jace kind of just slowly turns towards you and says, and kind of just motions towards Luna, like, and like, we're here, go do the thing.
Go do the thing.
Can I prehensily cast comprehend language?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, how many people can I hit with that? Me. Okay, I can hit me. I could cast it multiple times, but that's a lot of first level spells I have to deal out.
What did I miss? Sorry.
What did you miss?
Basically everything.
I talked to an elephant and I didn't get shit. And Santa is gonna cast comprehend languages, but he doesn't know if he can cast it on everybody.
I can. It's not a concentration spell, so I can cast it on multiple people.
Mm-hmm.
With me, Ruin, and Wanda, that's 3.
Yep.
Is Jace? Are you gonna come down there with us?
Jace kind of just looks at you. You just see him roll his eyes and say, "Oh, fine."
I mean, no,
So you see him slowly start to, almost Superman style, with his arms folded, just lower himself towards the ground.
More like Zod there than freaking
Yeah.
Superman.
Yeah,
I'll at least, I'll burn 3 first level spells for 3 comprehend languages, and ask if Jace wants one as well.
I think he knows the language.
He just gives you this deadpan look like, why would I not know how to speak catfolk?
You seemed more the kind to interact with, and I'm going to look down, a bit more technologically advanced civilizations rather than tribal civilizations.
Oh yes, you all haven't actually been in class, so you wouldn't know much about these actual tribes. You hear him actually begin to laugh as he goes down, which even seems to set the catfolk on edge as they seem to back away as he kind of slowly lowers down.
Yes, he is truly an evil mastermind.
Well, we at least know what they're saying.
And from what you can hear, a lot of them seem to be saying to get back and protect the elder, and they seem to be watching and waiting to see what you're going to do.
I will state that I did want to come down as a fox Kitsune, not the human Kitsune.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So at least Jace is the only one, and Wanda are the ones that look human-esque. Ruin and I at least look
Different.
Yeah.
Animal-esque.
See, I saw what you did there. I appreciate it.
What the fuck is wrong with you, bitch?
And as you see them coming up, you all of a sudden see that as they're moving forward, the older lady seems to like pat you on the shoulder, Luna, and seems to like motion for you to follow behind as she begins to walk towards where Jace is gonna land.
I follow eagerly, trying to get the fuck out of here.
And as Jace lands, he kind of stands there, and the old lady kind of stands like a few feet away with a bunch of like warriors and stuff following behind her, kind of like flanking out to the side and around Jace in this huge circle. It's about maybe 30 or so warriors in this circle.
I know she's not gonna. Can I speak? I can't speak.
You can if you want.
Okay, I thought I was still paralyzed, but.
Oh no, it kind of wore off.
Okay, I'm gonna say they just want me. They're not trying to hurt you, even though I feel like that she's not gonna understand me. I just want to say that.
And she just kind of looks back over at you and says, "We never planned to hurt you, dear."
Bitch. You could have spoke to me in common the whole time, bitch.
I mean, if you're saying that, that sounds kind of rude.
Yeah, that's a little.
That. I'm not gonna say that. This is just my This is just my inner voice speaking. She's mad.
All right, she's monologuing.
Inner Sakura.
Right.
It's when you hear our anime character thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Monologue.
You see him just kind of stand there, and you hear Jace as you kind of laying down, and kind of clear his throat. He kind of looks over towards you, and then kind of like head nods towards the old woman, like, say something.
To me?
Is speaking to me or to Luna?
You fool!
To you.
We're going to be like, Zen, speak up.
Okay, not me. I already said something. I don't know what else to say. Yeah. Okay.
Then yeah, I'll take a step or two forward and be like, apologies. That Tiefling is a member of our team, and we need her.
Understandable. It seems here that my young warriors found her attacking a. It's like, so you like look to one of the guys who's kind of like, it's like it was a monkey, Your Majesty, attacking a monkey out in the jungle.
I'm gonna look to Luna. You were attacking a monkey?
Yeah.
I was casting detect magic, and it threw a banana at me, and I went back. I literally didn't attack it. I didn't. It ran away. I didn't hurt it at all. It was totally fine. Something that weren't being kidnapped.
At that point, Rose would be straight up like, aren't you a druid? You're not supposed to attack animals, right?
That is not how that works.
What about you? Druids were supposed to respect all animal life. Alright, never mind. I don't know nothing.
Which you can now see that more than likely this one guy that's kind of standing off to the elderly lady's left seems to be really animated in the way that he's speaking. You can hear him say, it's like, she attacked my monkey for no reason and against our laws. As an outsider, she should be dealt with. Which the old lady doesn't seem to be paying him really much any attention, but he still is going.
Your monkey attacked me first.
You don't understand him because he is speaking in Catfolk, ma'am.
Dang! Oh!
You don't know what he's saying, but he is pointing at you a lot and like clapping his hands together, his paws together.
I'm just gonna flip him off. Do I see that he's aggressive towards me?
Oh yeah, you don't understand what he's saying, but it looks like whatever he's saying, you wouldn't like it anyway.
Okay, I'm just gonna stick my tongue out at him in an aggressive way.
Is your subordinate's companion actually harmed? We would like to make amends.
Which you see it kind of look and says, well, he asked you a question, Marie. Was your monkey harmed? And you see him kind of like look back at like all his grass and kind of look down at the ground. And you see the old lady kind of lean in forward. And then suddenly there's a lot quicker than you would imagine. Her staff swings out and whacks him in the knee. And he kind of like drops to one knee.
Damn.
And you hear him just kind of. And she kind of like motioned for her hand for him to continue on. No, Elder. the monkey was not harmed. So you brought this poor girl here for no reason, against her will, for a monkey that wasn't even harmed.
Thank you. I mean, I can't understand.
Ruin is subconsciously rubbing his knee.
And you see him kind of looking. And then you hear her snap her fingers, and she points to the two guys behind him. Take him and throw him into the prison.
Damn.
His eyes look wide as he doesn't even fight it. They just grab him up under his arms and drag him towards the temple.
Hey man, this is not the people to be filing false police reports, bro.
I wasn't gonna harm an animal just for throwing a banana at me. I'm not a psychopath.
And you see the elder kind of give a nod to you and says, "My sincerest apologies, good sir. We have wronged you. Allow us to make amends." And you see her cup her hands together and bow towards you, kind of making like a diamond pattern with her fingers. And you see that all of the other catfolk immediately do the same.
Diamond? Ruin wants to try to mimic this little...
Yeah, she kind of temples her fingers and then puts her thumb down. So it's kind of like a diamond symbol.
To send?
Yes.
Okay.
And she bows deeply.
I will just give one of the rehearsed bows that I have from my culture and say, "Thank you, Your Highness."
We have clearly upset one of the Kitsune people. Our tribe must make amends. You hear her stamp her staff twice. And Luna, you feel someone immediately pick you up and kind of a couple of people begin to like dust you off gently.
I'm a little confused and skittish about their wanting to touch me, but allowing it either way.
And then you see her bring in emotion. You notice that all of a sudden there's this, for lack of a better word, it seems to be some bundle that's being brought out. And then you see that there's a young catfolk male who kind of bends a knee towards you, Luna, and offers you the bundle that's wrapped in this white cloth.
Does it look suspicious? I'm gonna grab it.
All right. As you grab the bundle, the cloth kind of unfolds, and you can see it seems to be this beautifully woven type of clothing underneath. You can only see a glimpse of it, but it looks like it's being bundled and given to you as a gift. And the old lady says, "A gift from our tribe."
Are you sure? I don't know, and I try to give it back to them.
Just gonna shake my head. No.
And you see everybody kind of pause when you like offer it back to them, including the elderly lady. And then she turns to Sin. "Does she not wish to have my gift?"
Do I see Sin shaking his head?
I would say if you're looking, you would clearly probably see it, but she switches back to catfolk when she speaks with you, Sin.
I am going to say in common, she's just unknowing. She will graciously accept, will she not? And I'll kind of look to Luna with that kind of pleading look in my eyes, but everything else is kind of stoic.
I have wide eyes, now understanding that I might be being disrespectful, and I, hug it now. I bring it back to me and I hug it just to seem like, yeah, I totally want this. It's totally mine now. Yeah, I like it. It's beautiful. Thank you. And I bow to them, not knowing really how to bow because, yeah.
And you see all of a sudden she kind of raises her head and says, "That as well. We shall begin the feast immediately." And you hear there's a bit of cheers from people as children begin to run around. They seem to begin to set out more tables and things like that of nature. As our honored guests, you are invited to our festival this evening.
Can I, now that I'm freed and all that, make sure that all my shit is still on me?
It is.
Okay, cool beans.
Ruin's gonna go up to Wanda. "Wanda, what's a monkey?"
A monkey, it is a primate, a jungle animal. They are humanoid-ish.
Oh, okay.
Try to explain to him what monkey is.
And you just hear Jace kind of laugh for a moment and says, well, it seems we are staying for dinner. As you see him take out a card and apparently begin to inscribe some type of spell on it, probably relaying the message back to Aegis Academy. But for the most part, the village seems to be kind of enjoying themselves with the people of the temple here. As this temple, as you kind of look at it, even in the light, it does seem to shine, and it's clearly looks to be made of solid gold. And it's somewhere around maybe 400 or 500 feet tall.
Fancy.
The fanciest.
You
So
do
shiny.
notice that only a couple of people seem to go in and out of the temple at any time.
Damn it, Sin, don't you dare.
It's
Remember what happened the last
shiny. And it's another temple I can add to the list.
Like, you already got the respect of an entire tribe. Settle down.
Yeah,
Right?
fine.
But other than that, they seem to be very kind. The kids seem to be more interested in you all, if anything, more trying to figure out what you are. and what
I
you-
play music for them and do acrobatic tricks.
Every time they seem to go near Jace, he just seems to levitate himself off of the ground about 30 feet up and kind of just sit there and continue to do whatever he was doing before.
Oh,
I've got to deafen myself for a second.
thank you. But if
I'm
we can't
gonna
get up trying to get under Ruin's wings, he'll probably end up just flapping them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask if I could talk to the elder lady.
She seems to be running things around, but she's out in the open. People just seem to be coming up to her, asking her things, and she seems to be directing stuff. But you can easily walk up to her.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to her and wait for her to be free.
She just kind of turns and looks at you. What can I help you with, my child?
Is it custom for you guys to arrest? Like, did he? I just feel bad for him being arrested for something that was so. I don't know.
Trivial.
Trivial. Yeah, but I don't want to call it trivial because I don't want her. I don't want it to sound like I'm calling her decisions trivial decisions. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
something that
you're
wasn't as bad
calling
as it-
his actions trivial, not her decision. His overreaction to a spooked monkey was disproportionate.
Yeah, he exacerbated the whole situation.
Yes. So for a trivial misunderstanding, is that punishment necessary?
yeah, I'm gonna correct myself and be like, how is he going to be punished if you don't mind me asking?
But God.
And she kind of looks to you and says, you care for Melee. Interesting. Even after he has wronged you.
I mean, depending on the punishment, I think I would feel bad if I found out that it was severe for the level of for how I was affected. You know what I mean?
I mean, in a sense, he helped you get a good night's rest.
And you hear, would you think it's kind of like a laugh and you realize that it's the elder purring? With just a deep vibrato. She kind of
That's
stops
nice.
and says, if you would like, child, you may go inside the temple and speak with Melee yourself. And if you wish for him to be freed, so shall it be.
If,
And you
I'm
see-
sorry. What
And you see her kind of like lift her staff and like point towards you, and you see the guards kind of like acknowledge outside of the temple.
before I go, if he's not released, would he just stay there?
For now, child, yes.
Until
until I decide otherwise.
Okay. I'll bow my head and thank her, and then walk towards the guards.
And as you walk,
whoever.
you see them immediately step to the side and part and give you that same, ironically, the same kind of motion you saw before, them kind of putting their hands together and kind of bowing to you. They do the same as they step apart to let you pass.
I bow my head and thank them, and then go through.
All right. As you step through, it's completely dark, but you have dark vision. And after about 30 feet of entering down steps into the temple, you see that there seems to be light at the end. And the area that you walk into seems to be a place where you notice that there are... It's ironically, you see it seems to be a large square area where off in each direction there seems to be a tunnel. And there seems to be 2 guards standing beside each tunnel. And you can see that sitting in the middle of this room is a cage that's maybe 5 feet tall, maybe 5 by 5, and inside of it is the Catfolk warrior Melee sitting cross-legged, and seemingly like he's supposed to be meditating, but staring at you with his tail swishing back and forth.
He's sitting down, you say?
Yes, the cage is so small that he's forced to actually sit like this, otherwise he wouldn't be able to stand in here. It's only 5 feet tall.
I'm gonna motion in front of him, like on the ground in front of him outside of the cage, and ask, "Can I sit?"
You don't hear him say anything. He just seems to still be looking, but you do see his tail flicker.
I'm not aware of how they are emotionally, because I'm not aware of cat.
I cannot stop you, trespasser, which you hear him say in common.
Okay. I'm gonna sit in front of him. Like 3 feet in front of the cage.
You can see him. As you see that he seems to have all black fur with a small white tuft in the center. And these kind of gleaming, almost yellow eyes, almost amber color. They seem to be taking you all in. But physically, other than his tail and eyes, you haven't seen him move from this position at all. Not a muscle or anything twitch. And he's, from what you remember, he's a fairly tall guy. He's like over 6 feet tall.
He's taller than Ruin.
Oh yeah, he's about 6'3", 6'4".
Oh, he's 4 inches taller than Luna.
That's tall.
Yeah.
That's the Luna sound taller than?
6 feet.
6 feet, yeah.
Wait. Yeah, she's 6 feet. I was thinking of Margot. Margot is 6'5", I think. I'll let there be silence for a second while I'm just looking at him, and then I'm gonna say, "I'm sorry for attacking your friend."
You see him kind of look you up and down for a moment. Make a diplomacy check.
Oh, I'm sorry for spanking your monkey.
Please don't. Please don't. Okay. That is a 25.
With the 25, see him kind of take a moment. It says, "As you should be, outsider." You should have never come to our forest, to our borders.
You're right. It is not my place. to come in without permission.
It's because of you that I am captured here.
Are you the one who lied, though?
I did not lie. I did not tell the whole truth.
But isn't an omission of truth to many a lie? Like, if and to anybody, I feel like to your elder, it would be seen as a lie.
The elder grows odd in her elderly age. And then you hear all of the 8 guards around, they immediately snap their pole down, which you see him kind of hiss at and wince at, like, as the cage flares slightly. Kind of glows for a moment and then dims again.
I'm assuming that was, like, I'm assuming I could say that was because he talked ill of the elder.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Say this man is a bit more of a kitsune than a catfolk, but still, you don't just badmouth an elder while in prison, surrounded by guards.
You've seen enough times that people have been in trouble that immediately once he said something negative about the elder, their immediate response seemed to cause him some type of discomfort when they did that. You don't know exactly what, but you've seen enough where you're like, you said something stupid, they responded, and now you had to suck with that. Whatever they did hurt.
Yeah. I sound like, so you consider wisdom odd?
Would you consider it what?
You would consider wisdom odd?
Wisdom. Merely being the elder does not mean that everything you say is correct.
Sorry.
I mean, that can be true, but do you really think that whatever you sought to do with me was the correct action for something that didn't even happen?
Nobody harmed you.
What would they have?
The elder does not allow us to harm outsiders, only capture them.
And what would have happened to me then?
If you're like the last outsider, she would probably give you gifts and kind of nods his head and let you be on your way. Or have us escort you throughout the jungle to wherever you're trying to go.
What about for second offenders?
Often as much of the same. You would merely spend some time in this, kind of looks over at the cage, contraption, before being released, having to have learned your lesson, so to speak.
This man is
So-
not a fan of corporal punishment. He wants, or not a fan of escalating punishment. He wants like the beheading right off the bat.
Yeah, right? So
This
I'm like,
dude is
so-
zero reoccurring offenders.
So you think you don't learn any lessons where you are right now?
I've learned that I must. You can see him kind of catch himself.
Mm-hmm.
I have learned not to repeat my mistakes, outsider.
So what you're saying is you would not omit a truth in the future?
I would not allow an outsider to cause harm to my tribe again.
So next time you would kill me?
This I did not say. And you just see a smile for the first time on his face.
Okay, sense motive. Can I tell by now? Like, since I've been talking to him for a while.
Yeah, you're getting a good read on him and his personality.
Okay. Mm. 25.
You get the intent that his intent would be probably towards permanently silencing you, because you can't get in trouble for what nobody knows about.
Yeah, that worries me. Okay.
And all of a sudden, make a will save.
Okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
Fatality.
Tell him we killed
Oh, that's not
I was gonna call him Rengar. His name's not Rengar.
19.
Renwick is what you
Renwick. There you go. Renwick.
Yeah, tell him Renwick's dead. See how that reacts.
With will save, you suddenly hear almost like a whisper behind you. Come to me. Come to me. Come to me.
No. I shake my head and I like clasp my ears.
And you see him kind of look at you. That, what is wrong with you, outsider? Are you like these cowards who are going to let you and your friends end up killing everyone in our tribe? And as soon as he says finish out, there's another stamping of all the stabs in unison, and you see the cage flare again, and you hear him kind of almost a slight sound of sizzling as he
Ow.
and then he kind of looks at you. No, there was something. What was it? Tell me, outsider.
I wouldn't.
Don't tell him shit.
I don't seek to hurt anybody here. And I stand up to walk away.
You know what I'm saying? That is what the last outsider said, and now my brother is dead.
His brother's Renwick.
Right? It's like, who's your brother? It's very good.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Who's your brother? Why do you what did they do, and how do you feel I'm like them?
You look like them. Kind of sniffs the air. You smell like outsider. And Mawari volunteered to help that outsider. And they went into the jungle, and we only found his body days later.
Aww.
That's sad. I'm gonna say I'm sorry about your brother, but I do not intend for that to happen again, at least not with us.
Lies! And you see him actually grab the cage now and kind of like lunge almost forward, and the cage blares as a very bright kind of orangish color, and you hear the sizzling of his flesh as he pulls back. But not after like holding on and locking eye contact with you, with his hands smoking. And then slowly letting go and sitting back down in this position.
He did that one to prove a point.
Yeah, that was intense. That was cool. That was something.
Calm down. Don't
Okay.
laugh at now.
I'm gonna.
Look, you know, if Luna likes him, they got to be a villain. It's just the way. It's just the way.
I don't know what you're talking about. That is false. All of that is false.
So does that mean I have to kill Git?
False it is. Anyways, I nod my head and say thank you for talking to me, and then I leave.
Not like you had much of a choice.
I mean, he did have a choice. He could have not said anything, but he said something.
True. But with that, as you walk out of the temple, as you're walking back down the dark hallway, you just hear again something says, "Come to us." And that's it. As you walk back out into the sunlight.
Ooh, first it was me, now it's us.
Where is it coming
We are
from?
legion.
I look to see where, if there's anybody around me, like perception check, you know what I mean? Like,
Go ahead and roll your perception check.
Let me-
27.
You look around and you down this stone 10-foot hallway of this dark gold, actually, because everything in here is gold, and you don't see anyone. Like, you saw the catfolk inside that were, you actually saw them dressed in what looked to be dark blacks and greens that would blend into the jungle very well. And you see the guards out here at the door, but in this hallway there was nobody for this 30 feet that you walked.
Bum, bum, bum.
I'm gonna dissociate for a second and then take a deep breath in and then leave the temple. Yeah. And then go back to Miss Elder Lady.
Easy enough to find. Wanda, the kids seem to be trying to sing to you in their language, which you're trying to like pick up. But the cadences and rhythms are very staccato, so it's like the fuck. Wait, slow down, and because they're going a mile a minute doing it because they're laughing because you're trying to like play up with it.
Okay, I'm trying to learn what they're singing.
Exactly. That you're trying to basically learn their song in a different language you don't speak, but you're like, I'm gonna figure this shit out. But,
Okay.
Luna, you can easily walk up to the elder. Which, when you walk up, you can see some kind of like bow to them. And she just kind of turns and looks at you and says, I see that Melee is not with you.
Oh, would I have been able to release him? Yeah, no. Okay, no. Yeah, no.
And she just kind of smiles with kind of like one of those old people knowing smiles. Like, I told your ass.
He actually worries me a lot. I'm sure you know. Yeah.
He is young and impulsive and still full of pain. But he will learn patience. Or he will burn all the fur off of his skin, whichever one comes first.
I nod and say hopefully. Meaning hopefully he learns, not hopefully his fur burns off. Yeah.
There is
Hopefully-
a saying that we have here, child. A lesson that is painfully learned is one that is always remembered.
Hoorah.
I nod my head to that.
Why instantly
That motherfucker is gonna be a Siamese cat.
I'm gonna find Jace after I'm done talking with her.
So he's not easy to find at all.
Look for the man floating in the sky.
Arms crossed. Every
Like,
now and
nope,
then,
don't want none of this shit.
Jace is floating about 30 feet up in the air, and he seems to be arcing out some type of complex. It's an odd thing. It seems like he has like some type of magic, almost like window in front of him, and he seems to be out like magicking up on like a draw board some type of formula and working something out.
I turn into a bird and fly up to him. I can't. Okay, a hummingbird is tiny, right? I can't turn into tiny things yet.
You cannot turn into a hummingbird.
Okay, that's very sad. Because the hummingbird can fly in place, right?
Yeah, it
And
can. It would be able to hover. Your bird
Yeah.
forms, you cannot. You can just circle around him.
Oh wait, there's a bird I just learned about recently that can do that, but it does it in a certain way.
Is it a rare bird that Luna would know about? Wouldn't know about?
I honestly have no idea. I forgot the name of the bird, but basically what it does is it's a bird that has basically learned how to match its speed with against the wind. That way, the wind is keeping it in place.
Yep.
And in my form of elemental, I would just speak elemental. I wouldn't be able to speak English because elementals are like sentient. right?
Yes, elementals have their own language, so yes. Depending on the elemental you turn into, that's what your language will come out as.
Okay. That's smart. That's very smart. But
Oh,
thank you. You're distracting. Thank you. I'm sorry.
maybe.
Okay. I'll turn into a bird and fly around him and ask if I could speak to him.
So you just fly up to him and you just.
I can speak and I can speak. I have the feet to speak while in animal form.
All right, so you just kind of. And you see him kind of pause and kind of take a moment and just sigh. And then you see him kind of like take his hand and seemingly grab all the magical writing at once and kind of like squeeze it into his palm. And says, "Of course, it's not as if I was doing anything important. What could you possibly need to speak to me about?" As even though you're flying around him in a circle, he's just slowly rotating to match you and watch you in the air.
She'll
Okay,
turn
I'm
into
gonna fly.
an Arctic turn.
I'm gonna fly to the ground so I can not do this weird shit.
But he eventually follows you down. Far, far slower than he actually possibly can, but he eventually comes down to the ground like 5 minutes later.
That's okay. It gives me time to think about, does this voice sound familiar at all? Do these voices?
Not in the slightest.
Okay. And do I have any feelings right now that would is there any sensation that comes along with it? Or just voices?
Nope, you just heard barely a whisper of a voice.
Okay. Alright, that's cool. I may just be schizophrenic or whatever, but that's fine.
But
Totally.
Jace lands and kind of looks you up and down. And as you see children begin to slowly start to creep around towards him, you see him just kind of hold up his hand and electricity begins to fly off of it. He doesn't shoot it at anybody, but it's a clear indication that he doesn't want to be bothered, which the kids scatter as if he personally ran after them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I turn into Tiefling form again, and I'm pacing, looking nervous, and I get real close, and I'm like, I'm hearing voices, and I don't know, man. I'm hearing voices.
You see Jace kind of stare at you hard for a moment. Did you recognize the sound of these voices?
No, I just nod. I shake my head frantically. No.
How many voices did you hear?
How many voices did I hear?
Just one voice.
That's fine.
And where exactly did you hear this voice? Did it sound like one of the multitude of catfolk or children and their bastard offspring running around here?
No, nobody was around. I heard it. No, it wasn't anybody. Nobody was there. I know. I looked.
Give me all of your magical items.
Oh, this motherfucker!
No, he's right. That's
And that'll do it. I mean, you have that book, the fucking book.
And you see him.
Oh, good.
You see him wave his hand through the air, and you see a shimmering slab of force, about 4 feet long, just kind of sit there between the two of you.
No, I'm gonna bluff this shit. I'm gonna give him the Ion Stone. And the sword. No, the spear. And hold on, let me look at my shit. I'm not giving him the books because I'm crazy. I'm stupid right now. I want to sell that shit. I'm not gonna have it for very long. Okay.
And this is how the world ended.
So we have Flame Blossom, an Ioun Stone.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like how I remember most of these dang names.
It's good. Which you immediately see Jace just apparently casting Identify on each one of these to check them fully out and going through them kind of with a magical fine-tooth comb. And as he kind of does things from one end of the table to the next, he just slides it down and says, "That's fine." Looks over Flame Blossom like, "That's fine." Extremely powerful, and I'm not sure why that was even given to you, but it's fine.
Painfully fine that every single one of us has something.
Was that for Flame Blossom?
Yes.
Yep.
Maybe I should give it back. Maybe I should.
I mean, Ron will take it off your hands. He's good with any weapon.
Like it's made out of Neverexian steel.
Where did
I'm
you
gonna roll to see if I bring the book out.
She got it the same time I got Revor. Ruin got his sword. You got your ring, if I remember correctly.
Winter Sword,
The ring of
you got the
shielding.
Ring of shielding.
Oh, that's right, from Avarice.
Avarice.
Yep. Where I got
Wanda
my.
got. What did Wanda
She got
get again?
Darkthorn.
Dark. No, I thought
Yeah, she
Darkthorn
did.
was
She
from her
got
mother.
one.
Yeah, I was gonna
Dark-
say Jace just doesn't know why you guys got that shit because he wasn't there for that. But
Yeah, Darkthorn is the katana that Wanda uses.
Yeah.
The one she used to fuck up Jace. Or not Jace, Xavier.
Oh,
Xavier, yeah.
okay. I rolled that I'm not gonna give it back, but I really want to give it back.
I mean, that's all your choice.
The book?
Just do not say that his daughter gave it to you. He will be immediately suspicious of the rest of the crew.
More like immediately suspicious of Ruin.
No,
I
not
mean,
the sword.
I would say,
Not the spear. I'm talking about the book.
I would say you
I
should.
don't want to give the book back. I don't want to give the book to him because I feel like it might be the book. You know what I mean? Or the books. But I'm not done reading them, and I want to sell them. But if it's affecting me, it could affect somebody else, and it could make them crazy and obsessive over it. Like, what's her face? You know what I mean?
No.
Hold on a sec. Can I get a clarification here on the play in the sense of Luna wants to sell the stolen books from
Yes.
Whitestone?
Yes.
The
Okay.
stolen book that we got from the underground
From Renwick's
area.
that basically
Yeah.
you guys took from Vanessa's actual room.
Yes.
Yeah. I read
Oh, I thought
all-
she was selling the books that she accidentally kept from Whitestone.
No.
I think those got given back, actually.
Yeah, those
Did
get
they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I gave them back. I gave them back eventually.
Oh,
In
you gave them back during
in a very
dinner
weird way.
that we had on their sky ship, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. I'm getting my books confused because we've had a lot of books that have tried to kill us.
Yeah.
We really have. This is crazy.
But
Actually, y'all have had a lot of books that try to kill.
Exactly. I'm gonna have to say,
we
side with
all have gotten screwed by this. But
I
it's
don't like
but it's mainly us, not Tahlu, doing the first temptation.
I
See,
haven't
mine
fucked
was
with
a
no books.
chest.
I ain't fuck with no books. I ain't fuck with shit. But one thing, it stuck
Yeah,
to
one
my-
gauntlet. Somehow that still has both been simultaneously the worst and the best thing for us, though.
okay. My question is chaotic neutral. What does that mean? I know what it means, but I don't know what it means. And what it means will be
Whatever
Well,
you
I-
believe to be true.
Chaotic neutral is Shig. Just think Shig.
just think Shig. But Shig is like good. You know what I mean?
I mean, chaotic neutral doesn't mean bad.
It just
Yeah.
means what
It
you
just
believe
means
to be the best
unpredictable.
choice.
Whatever benefits you at the moment. Go by your rules.
What is pocket?
That's one way to normally look at it. Pox is also chaotic neutral.
Okay.
Yeah. This is definitely-
Okay. All right.
For the
I was
most
gonna say-
part, is you always make up your mind to do what you think is right.
Chaotic
That's
neutral.
what I said.
Think of freaking Captain Jack Sparrow.
Extremely chaotic neutral, yes.
Oh, yes, Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow is a good example of a chaotic neutral character.
Ooh,
Or
okay. I
Peter
like.
Pan is another one to think about.
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna sell the books. Or that will be my intention. You know what I mean?
All well and good.
Cat goes.
Would I know if the books are what's causing it?
Mm-mm.
No. Okay.
So that probably requires a little bit more
higher level of tech magic.
Yeah, and I don't want him taking my books away, so I'm not gonna bring him out.
That's all
Bluff
right.
check on anything else.
But Flame Blossom, which, just so you know, Flame Blossom's metal tip is always glowing. Like,
Nice.
bright,
Just the tip?
glowing. Just the tip.
Just the tip.
Man, that's
And my
radioactive.
belt, that's obviously on me. The belt of giant strength.
He checks it and slides it down the list, says that's fine also. Is that everything that you have?
I nod my head yes.
Well, none of that is magically talking to you, so
You're crazy.
Yeah.
You're either crazy or you're lying.
and you see him kind of look over you and says there's nobody magically enchanting you or anything like that.
Couldn't it be an after effect of the necklace?
He kind of just looks at you, is like, you all really don't pay attention in class at all, do you?
We haven't really
We
been
don't
there.
go to classes.
Damn, where the fuck are we in class?
And he just
Let's
looks
say-
at you and says, that wasn't a spell that was talking to you, that was Renwick's soul, which was hiding in the necklace
Yeah, but it's a soul gem.
that Celine destroyed.
I mean, he shouldn't be able to talk to you anymore after that.
That is all the way on Varia, on another continent,
Damn.
Yeah.
that you're not aware of.
Okay. Well, thank you. That was so helpful. I say while I put my stuff back on.
That's because I'm a teacher. And you see him immediately begin to start to slowly levitate himself back in the air. Also, while you're grabbing your stuff, the table like drops, so anything you didn't have in your hands just drops to the ground.
He's such an asshole. Why does Celine? Oh, why? Why?
He calls her
That's
his
so weird.
That's why.
To say there is a different side of Jace we do not get to see for the fact of Ruin is shagging his daughter, and on top of that, we annoy the ever-living piss out of this man.
Man, I have yet to find a single thing that doesn't annoy the ever-living piss out of this man.
I mean, if you also do think about it, his long-term friend Captain Boone also died trying to
Yeah,
help a
that's
friend
our
to
fault.
save you all.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, we have a reason to not be liked.
Just
I
always-
understand.
And
But
Jace
this-
goes on this shit forever. Sprout and Celine can move on. Jace is the pettiest he can be and holds on to it, but he also follows the rules so he won't cross a certain line. So he'll help you. Doesn't mean he has to like it, but he'll help you.
But if it comes that moment, like, fuck around and find out, you gonna just fuck around.
Exactly.
I was gonna say his fuck around and find out game is probably pretty damn strong.
Yes, sir.
He's alright.
He has
He's
his
almost
moments.
he's almost at ultra instinct level right there. Just done.
No, I'm just gonna spend the rest of the night. Is there fire?
The fire hasn't gotten started yet because it's about 2 in the afternoon at this time, but they're building a large bonfire.
I think at this
I
time,
will
we're
help.
playing for the kids.
Build the fire, and then I will spend the rest of the night sitting and looking at the fire. Sounds like a good night.
Sounds good. Let's run by what everyone is doing. Sin, what would you be doing over the course of this half day in the jungle?
I would probably be trying to figure out and trying to message Celine in the sense of I want to know a little bit more so I know how to talk. What, if any, catfolk tribes did she know of that hold Kitsune in high regard, if I can even get through to her? Because last time I tried, she was unavailable.
You would try, she would still be unavailable.
And I don't have the ability to contact the headmaster, do I?
Yeah, you can always try to. Ideally, the cards were set up that you guys can always try to emergency call a professor.
I wouldn't necessarily say it's an emergency call, so
You do also do have Jace right there.
I will question him. I mean, I am kind of dense, so it is one of those. If we are going to be playing guest for the evening, do you have any insight? They obviously hold Kitsune in high regard, so do you have any inclination as to a specific tribe this could be?
He kind of just looks at you. This is the Naru tribe. Clearly demonstrated by their garb, the large golden temple, their elder Haru. Also, the necklaces that they all have, which seems to have this kind of bone tooth, which normally is their baby tooth when it actually falls out. Which, if this is the Naru tribe, that means that we are in the central northern part of the Mungwani expanse. We're probably some 1,000 miles away from the actual edges of the continent.
Ooh, wow.
Interesting.
Heart of the Amazon.
Thank you, Professor Jace.
Of course. Team leader Sin.
Wanda will be just treating this kind of like a field trip, and like.
No,
learning
we
about-
will be respectful. We will learn what we can.
Yeah.
Given the chance, we will leave post haste with all courtesies and kindnesses acknowledged and reciprocated.
She's just recognizing that she doesn't leave continents very often, and that's, she's appreciating that and seeing it in a very childlike manner.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm learning about the food and the languages and stuff. I try to learn as many songs as possible.
Very true.
Yeah.
I would say the children do seem to be very adamant about being around you and playing with you. Actually, make a performance check, actually, Wanda.
Yeah, we don't show them Shoki, yeah.
Performance check. That will be a total of so 28.
All right. As you begin to play, are you singing or playing your guitar, or?
I am singing.
As you're singing, you realize that more and more catfolk, while they're walking around working, they're beginning to join in singing the song. And it creates all these different layers of harmonies that seem to overlap and collide with each other in this kind of beautiful dissonance. And the oddest part is that you're not doing anything other than just singing the notes that you think are right, and they are automatically doing all the rest.
Nice.
It's by far one of the best musical experiences that you've ever had.
Yay. That is all. I love it. That's home.
That's nice. As for you, Ruin, what are you doing throughout this day as they're preparing a large feast?
Oh, if anything, I'd probably be. Actually, I'm gonna go hunt down Choki and take his measurements.
Shoki is inside of the gym on Wanda's neck.
Oh,
Yeah.
At that point, like, never mind. At that point, I guess Ruin just hanging around with a bunch of Choki, just flapping his wings.
Oh, they think your wings are amazing.
You're like a giant walking TV dinner.
I know, right? Just trying to mess with them, getting that one to jump up, and I put my wing higher so they can't reach it.
Yeah, basically they do that, and some of them try to like basically circle around you, act like their arms are actual wings, and they're flying around you like birds. And wherever you walk to, they tend to like follow behind you like a flock, making bird sounds.
It's like, all right, take that.
But after the days and the hours come through, there's these huge boars that are brought in and being carried, very similar to how Luna was being carried, onto splits that begin to be roasted. There's a large amount of freshly made vegetables from the nearby garden that you've seen that are just rows upon rows upon rows of gardens. You notice that some of the trees in that area also seem to be fruit-bearing trees with apples and oranges and the like. And a massive feast is broken out where there's all these people that have come out that are sitting here for it.
Yay!
Wow.
Food celebration.
Poor Tahlu, he ain't getting nothing.
That's fine with me.
How come? No, Tahlu's not here.
He's not there.
Father's not there.
And as the feast begins at sunset, there seems to be joy and revelry. Everyone seems to be smiling. Jace is being very polite, which is odd.
Very.
You see him smile to people and nod and hi and kind. And after about an hour, you see him stand up and says, and he kind of looks to El Dhaharu and says, "It was a pleasure as always, El Dhaharu. We must be taking our leave." He gives a nod, and as he gives a nod, he kind of gives like a quick look over at all of you, like, get the fuck up.
Is there?
I would say at the moment Jace stood up and was like saying, "Oh, blah blah," I was already up. So he's a little slow on that one to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm. And with that, he kind of takes out an area and he kind of places for everyone to stand back, which the elder agrees with.
I do thank her once more and bow and wave to everybody before stepping inside the circle.
Ooh, can I purchase or ask for a map or something so I can come back?
They actually don't have any maps. All of the different paths and areas around here are taught only by verbally. So you learn it over the generations as you live and grow. That knowledge gets passed down.
That makes total sense.
That makes total
That
sense.
is fucking badass.
I'm with it. That is badass.
That is like southern, like states thing. Like, hey, take a left at the Domino's, go down to you see the McDonald's, take a right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's how most indigenous tribes keep knowledge.
Very much so.
I just try to remember the places best I can. I'll start there.
Excuse me.
And as you had that amount, Jace begins to stretch. You also notice that, Luna, when you bowed over, El Dhaharu put something around your neck.
That's so nice. She's so nice.
And you see that it seems to be just a leather kind of rope necklace that just has a small tooth at the end.
What is the tooth?
It's usually one of their baby teeth.
Normally it's a baby tooth from whoever has it. It's one of the marks of their tribe.
Can I'm gonna ask her if I can hug her.
She just nods and says that's fine.
I'm gonna hug her. She's so nice.
Ow.
You see those of you near Jace hear him kind of clear his throat like
I'll let go when I'm ready. I'll have to deal with it. And then I'll let go. And say thank you and then go to the circle. Yeah.
Which he gives a nod and begins to cast. And Wanda, as you're standing there, because you all are standing with your back to the pyramid, the temple, you begin to hear this large pyramid which seems to glow ever so slightly and almost seems to be set afire in the sunlight, with the sky all orange and ablaze. Seems to also make the illusion of this pyramidic temple seem to also gather ablaze. And again, you hear the voice that just says, "Come to me."
Wait, Wanda or Luna?
Just Luna, not Wanda.
Okay. Shit. Oh shit. I was gonna say it's
It's infectious.
infectious, contagious. Yeah.
It's like herpes.
What? Hey.
Damn it.
I'm just gonna look down and try to ignore it.
Easy enough as you do. And a few moments later, you see that Jay says, begin to trace symbols in the air and on the ground around you. You just see that this massive arcane circle begins to kind of draw itself out in this blue light and connect itself in a larger and larger circle. And as the runic symbols are finished, you hear that the tribe begins to kind of sing the same song they were singing before. And as it kind of reaches this crescendo, you all apparate, and you are standing inside of the teacher's tower.
Hey, we're back.
We're back.
Oh, it's a lot cooler here.
I say thank you for coming to get me. To everybody.
Wanda hates Luna.
We're a team. What else would we do?
You know you like it. Hug me back.
Yeah. I do, but you.
Out his head.
Are you like genuinely okay?
I shrug my shoulders. I don't know what okay is anymore.
As
I
Jay
think-
walks past you all and says, "This is so lovely. Must never do it again. Go about your day, students," as he is walking up the stairs.
Thank you, Professor Jace.
Y'all should have said that shit in unison. That would have been funnier.
What was the tribe? Did we ever get the name of the tribe?
Naru, Naru.
Thank you.
I think it might be best if, well, not often do we get, attacked by, well, I'm not going to say strange things because that tends to happen to us a lot, but maybe the therapist can help.
Look, yeah, we get attacked by a lot of stuff.
I mean,
Yeah.
what about the golem?
Hey, wait, can we even talk about that?
Everything is supposed to be confidential, and I think she has the same level clearance as the headmaster. At least when it comes to school stuff. So she probably was able to read almost everything.
Yeah, but that wasn't part of the school stuff, though, what happened
I
underground.
mean, I was the one being attacked, and I would like to know if it's coming after me still.
No,
No,
that
I think-
headmaster took care of explicitly.
Indeed.
Like, it is in pieces spread across the bottom of the ocean. It is not coming back.
I exhale in relief, and not.
But I mean, you being attacked by a golem can be spoken about. It was a threat you faced by yourself.
I mean, wasn't that the golem that we that she
Ed-
actually messed with that one day?
Like, trying to get Ruin to shut up, but clearly saying that didn't work. That's what it looks like, but it's also one of those things we can't really talk about it. But I mean,
who else is here? Listen, everyone's gonna look around.
If you're looking by, there's a couple of second years still around, some first years that are walking around. See, Team 7 is kind of standing around. They seem to be discussing something in like a loose pattern. A couple of them are kind of looking over your way.
Oh, neat. Okay, we're always gonna be like, probably shouldn't speak loud then. Yeah. Well, that's why he was whispering.
okay.
That's why he was whispering to Sam. So I was like, shut up.
But yes, being attacked by any magically constructed golem is a very dangerous thing. If it scared Luna bad enough that she fled, like she did, it's completely reasonable to go talk about things that you're not used to a therapist. Trust me. I know.
And then you just hear from behind Sin, oh, there was a magical golem that attacked Luna.
Ah, God damn it!
As
At that moment, I'm going to try to leave without people seeing them.
as you see Lao Lin kind of like materialize out of thin air.
Damn it!
Loose lips, people, loose lips.
Let's stealth out of here.
If you want to try to.
Yeah.
And yet another event where Tahlu's glad he's not there.
Is it nighttime here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
They materialized. It was a freaking
Invisibility spell.
Yeah, I rolled a 21, and if it's to look around again, and if there's any type of illusion magic whatsoever, that buffs it up to a 23, just to double check.
Understandable. Though, as you would know from magic class, invisibility spell gives you a massive boost to your invisibility, especially if you're standing still. But you don't notice any ripples in the air, any distortions like that.
No, right.
And Lowland just kind of gives a nod and says, I was just interested in knowing what the information is. And you see her turn and begin to walk away.
Why is everyone so interested in us? I'm so confused.
we do a lot of
shit that we're not supposed to.
we do a lot of stuff, Ruin. We do a lot of stuff.
Isn't that normal? Isn't everybody do a lot of things?
Not like us, Ruin. Not like us. We
We
do
find
things.
ourselves in very unique situations.
We are the original jackass crew. They're just the imitators.
Oh my god.
They're the high school
No,
kids.
you are not even lying.
So yeah. Luna being attacked by a magical golem. Most of them have read about magical golems. One of our team members had to face one. I'm going to turn back and look to Luna.
You can see that Luna's already begun to walk away out to the distance. It's not much to hide out from here, but she's already about a good 30 feet away.
No. Well, there she is. I mean,
I'm just going to stare at him for a second and then dash.
like that
is
little
she,
look
is
of
she
like,
going to
see me.
a therapist now, or is she going somewhere else?
I have no clue.
As you watch Luna run in the distance. Luna, which direction are you headed?
Out of sight, at least. Is there out of
I would
sight
say if you're
anywhere?
running to the quickest way to get out of sight, it would be running around one of the dormitory buildings, which is the opposite direction from the therapist, but it's more towards the building you were sleeping on all the time.
Yeah, that's where I would want to go anyways.
Don't.
Sorry.
I mean, it's putting Sin in a very interesting situation, because it's now like, I gave you a suggestion as a friend. Now I have to give you an order as a team leader, and if that doesn't work, I have to go above that and tell the teachers that you are acting strange and you need to see the therapist. And if you don't go from there, it's just straight up defying orders, and I don't know what happens then.
Ruin's just going to pat up. It's all right, little buddy. We'll figure this out.
Yeah, let's just
I
not.
don't think... I'm sorry, go on.
I'm about to say, let's just not kick up any extra dirt before we do.
I wouldn't say Luna's, I was trying to,
You were trying to just get out of the immediate scene, not actually defy orders.
No, what I was saying was with mental health and blah 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 blah. Anyways, I wouldn't say my intention was to at first defy orders, but sometimes shit happens, and if it gets to a certain point, when you tell me to do something, I just don't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like trying to like make you upset or defy orders. It's just that feeling I get, and that feeling says, no, I'd rather go do something else. Yeah.
That's how you feel.
In an interesting way, Luna, do you go back to your room at any point?
No.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I would for a second. I would for a second just to get my uniform so I have an opportunity to put it on afterwards.
All right. You would notice that there is an envelope sitting on your desk. Kind of clear because there's nothing else that's on your desk, actually.
Okay. I would make sure I go there before everybody else gets there, though. Right?
I mean, you could try to run there, but I mean, it's only so fast you can get there before the rest of them. It's not the farthest place away.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Yeah. I would just stuff that stuff in my bag and then leave out the window and fly to the up there.
Okay.
Screw this.
Easy enough for you to be able to do that and get on your way. As for the rest of you, you're basically free to go about what you would like to do for the evening.
I'll be right back.
I would like to work on a show with Shoki that's like a Matador routine, right? Where like he acts really scary and aggressive towards me, but like it's not real. It's just a show. You know?
All right.
I think that'd be fun. That'd be a fun little performance.
I would say make an animal handling check.
Motherfuck, why can't it be any other thing?
Because you're handling an animal. What else would it be?
Like, straight up teaching an animal.
Can I get assistance from the barn? What's her name? Barn lady?
Oh, the one that gave us the
Every day?
the recommendation into the actual tournament, because we needed one from a teacher, and then we needed one from outside. I don't remember her name.
Professor Issa is who you're speaking about, I'm assuming.
Professor Issa. Yes. In fact, can she just teach me handling animal? Isn't that what she's there for? She's a teacher, right? She can do that?
That's not
I'm at
her,
school. I'm at a
not her job, but
whose job is it?
She can, but you're not in her class.
Okay, well,
But she's taught you the basics of learning how to take care of your companion.
I want to ask her for help.
All right. I mean, as always, she seems to always be in the barn. She's seems to be a dark-skinned elven woman who seems to be sitting there speaking with some of the students, explaining the different ways that they need to manage their companions. But you can ask her if you want.
I'd be like, excuse me, Professor, could you help me with something? Training request, I guess.
And what would that be, Wanda?
Well, I would like to try to train Shoki to do a show with me. But I'm not really good with training him myself yet. I was wondering if you could help me out.
Then I would think your first step would be getting better accompanied and better practice at training Shoki to begin with before attempting to do a show.
Exactly. I was hoping you could teach me how to teach, yes.
You see some of the other students kind of laugh and says, if you would like to learn, then we could begin doing such things starting tomorrow morning at this late in the day.
Wonderful. Of course. Thank you. What time did we get back?
Tomorrow morning, 5 a.m.
All right. I will make a point to go to bed early tonight. Okay. Thank you, Professor. We'll see you in the morning.
At the beginning, when old
Shoki. I meet up with the rest of my team. Assuming we're all together.
Ideally, you can be able to go out there and do what you guys would normally do in the evening if there's nothing specific that you all have. I'll be switching over to Tahlu. Hey.
There is one thing I want to do.
All right.
Even if it is just on a basic level. I have enough quick wit and intellect to try and help Headmaster Sprata work on some of his reports, seeing as I'm one of the team members that probably made quite a few of them necessary to at least help him through the ever-growing pile of paperwork he has to do.
I will join you in that effort. I do remember mentioning we were going to do that.
Yeah, in the very least as a kind of just relief in this time of mourning. There's a lot on his plate, so if we can eliminate, some of the school work.
Happy Headmaster, happy life, right?
Easy enough for you to head up to Headmaster's Tower as it's about 7 o'clock in the evening. And you walk up, the door seems to be closed.
Kind of knock and then politely wait.
You would see the door open after a moment, and you'd see Ruin standing there in the office.
Oh, hey, Ruin.
Hello.
Hey.
And Sprata will look at you, Ruin, and says, I'll take that into consideration if it seems to become an issue.
Very well, Headmaster. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. He's like, okay, and he will head out.
Then they kind of look at you. Seems that everyone from Team Moonshadow seems to be coming up here this evening. I was informed that the mission was a success by Jace hours ago. What can I help you all with?
Is it just you and me, Wanda?
I guess so.
Okay.
I don't think...
Kind of look back to Sprata and be like, well, considering we are usually the cause for your ever-growing mountain of paperwork, we should also at least do our fair share and help to minimize it. Wanda and I are offering our services to at least get you a little closer to a clean desk, as I'm essentially trying to look past him to see how much is actually on his desk.
Oh, from what you remember the other day, there seems to be like 4 equally high stacks of paper.
Anything in regards to the school that we have help with or knowledge on, we will be more than glad to work on here to let you then peruse, finalize, and then sign and get over with.
Well, perhaps there are some errands you would like to run. I could run out and get anything for you.
You all get to make... I'll give you the option. You can each make a diplomacy check, or one of you can make the check at advantage.
Ooh.
I'm looking at a diplomacy of 6.
I got this, my guy.
All you, man.
Down.
You said at advantage, yes?
Yep.
Ooh, well, nat 20. So, oh damn, and followed by nat 1. So I will take that at 31, please.
That rags to riches moment, man. There you go.
Man, that's a jump right there on the pendulum.
All
Right? Like, oh my gosh, what are the odds?
So you see Sprata kind of sit there for a moment and kind of laugh and says, you know what? I'll do something that I should have done a long time ago. I'd be glad to have your assistance for a little while, students. Let's just start with, he kind of takes one of the larger piles, and you see him pull out another desk from one of the far walls, and says, if you could just separate this into the different years of teams, and then separate them by team, that alone would save me a lot more time.
Considering I have come to know the third years scarily well, along with certain members of the second years, that will be not a problem.
Much appreciated. Because after that, I'll then go through them in the third years need certain things and provisions approved. The second years need updates. And progress on the first years is normally the last thing that I need to worry about since you all are here.
I will definitely be using the ever-living heck out of Scriber's chant, so that way it can all be done in what I presume needs to be triplicate.
I mean, that does help to keep the different files for other teachers, but makes it a little easier. And as it looks at you and at Wanda, it's like, well, so if you would be able to take, kind of looks for a moment, says, you don't need to read through these in much detail. If you could just take this pile, it's another huge stack. And if you could organize those by just looking at the person who's reporting at the top page, put those into sequential order of who is reporting what, and have those alphabetized. That's appreciated. And then you see him look back at the remaining 2 stacks on his desk and said, I will actually focus on getting those requisitions for the army done. As I would say, Wanda, do you look at any detail at the actual files that you're looking at, or do you just look at the name that's at the top of each page?
Did he say I don't need to, or I can't read through these?
He said you shouldn't need to at all for what he was asking, but you would clearly notice he was hesitant to hand over these files.
You know what? I'm gonna just read the names, but like, if one stands out, I don't know. I might drop it open. It might fall open, and I might see something. Nah, no, I'm kidding. I'm just gonna organize them.
You just notice they seem to be report by whoever. Some of them you recognize as actual professors here at the school. Some of them you don't recognize, but they're all illicit to Commander General Sprata.
Okay. I do kind of try to keep track of the names and stuff of the files. Well,
I would say the thing you'd probably notice the most is that a lot of the reports are coming from Agent Seryu.
a lot of them are coming from Seryu.
From what you can see, he seems to have at least double anybody else.
Busy
Oh,
man.
wow. We aren't the only ones who are busy.
I mean, he
Yeah.
just with the
He
ship.
graduated as a second year, but he was also immediately commissioned as the captain of the Sky Sword. So, being one of the few sky ships of Teleria, he's got a pretty big target on his back.
Well, you say Teleria has a decent amount of sky ships, but the Sky Sword is the fastest by far. Most of them are kind of like commercial vessels or kind of private airships, but the Sky Sword kind of looks and is literally built different.
Yeah, it's a cruiser. It's meant to go.
Yes.
It's the Black Pearl.
I'm assuming
Teleria.
these reports are. Do they say where they're coming from and when? Or would I have to read them to know that?
You would have to go through it in a bit detail, but some of them seem to have dates on them, some not. Most of them seem to be from the past couple of weeks.
What's the thickest one? No.
The thickest one you're looking at?
Yeah.
I'd say the thickest one comes from, let me double check. The thickest one comes from someone that's known just as Maxine. It just has one name on there. And it seems to be speaking to some type of possible war of session for the Oparan crown.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah, and it's thick, and it's almost like dictionary thick.
So we stifled it, but we didn't flat out snuff it out.
Oh, we were never going to.
Probably not, but I mean, it wasn't us that started it.
Is this file dated?
If you look at the date, it's dated for roughly a month ago.
Oh shit! That's around the time we were there.
That is.
Oh.
Damn, so it did almost become a war.
We stopped it long enough for us to get the hell out of Dodge.
Okay, I'm just gonna tuck it away. I'm not gonna ask questions I might not want to know the answer to right now.
All right, got stuff put down. Excellent. All right, so all that was marked down, all that was marked up.
Woo.
All right, anything else before I switch to Tahlu?
Yeah, I think Ruin was like, all right, I said average submission. I'm back from mission.
I'd say if you look for Average, she is holding technically a team meeting officially.
No, I wouldn't like. It wouldn't. Oh yeah,
Oh,
well, sure, why not? Yeah. I'll just go ahead and look for her just to find her and see. Holding the team meeting. I'll check that out real quick.
Easily seen her talking to it until you see that Adam raises his hand and says, "Technically, your boyfriend isn't part of our team or the team meeting, ma'am."
I was like, walking up, like, I apologize. I can put the earmuffs on if I have to.
I was gonna say, you see Adam kind of stand up, so we'll take that as it's a good time to end the team meeting. Good job, everyone. Goodbye. And you see him start to walk away until Average just says, "Everyone sit down." You see Adam kind of slowly just kind of reverse himself back like, fuck, almost was done.
Almost.
At that point, I guess I'm just gonna at that point, Ruin's gonna motion. Do I earmuff it or what am I doing?
Hey, you just see him kind of moving down and says, "It's perfectly fine. I'm merely talking about the different things me and my team are going to be doing."
Oh, okay. Daniel, wait.
That was just his way of trying to get out of it.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, I figured that out immediately once he said, "All right, we're done with this." I'll just wait.
It was nothing important. He wanted out.
The easy out button, and he went for it.
Right, he was like, "This is my chance. I'm gonna take it." All right. Very much so, but she's just going over stuff that generally y'all talk about in class and all the other stuff.
Ooh, stuff about class. That's something Ruin will probably end up thinking about or holding into memory and then writing little notes like something I need to know for class.
Yeah, she just seems to be recapping the classes so far.
Everything that our team has been missing, Ruin is writing that down, little summaries.
Actually, I was going to say that's pretty cool. All right. So with all that awesomeness going on, we will go and check in with Tahlu, who was told to go out and actually go meet Tara, and you were supposed to go to the Northern Graveyard and to the Sundial Crypt.
There we go. That's the name of the place.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Back into danger. Hopefully just not as dangerous.
Mm-hmm. And as you get there, as you walk in, you see that Tara is standing there waiting for you up against the statue.
He's just gonna give like a small, simple wave or a head nod, like not thrilled to be there, but not trying to be off-putting.
Mm-hmm. And she just kind of looks at you and says, "So here we are."
Yep, never thought you'd be the one teaching me how to become better with acquainted with Zalider.
Well, I mean, I didn't have to do that, but it was an order, and you could have been free of Zalider, but you chose to fight it.
It was never about being free of Zalider. In fact, I've grown very welcoming to his company.
Either way, let us begin. You see her turn and walk down the right side. As you see steps appear, she presses in on the statue. And then you see her seemingly walk through the floor, but you're like, the fuck?
The steps are there, right?
The steps are there, but you see her like turn and walk through the statue through the floor.
I'm just gonna go down the right side steps. If that's the side she suggested for me to go down, right?
It was.
Then yeah, I'll just go down their steps.
And as you go down them, they seem to curve and go down and go down. You do kind of feel yourself step on one step that gives a little bit as you slide past it, but nothing comes out to shoot you.
Yay.
And when you get down to the bottom, there's a door which has been left open. And you see her standing on the opposite side.
I'll step in through the door.
All right, this way, and she begins to continue walking.
Just gonna keep following her to the best I can.
And it's odd because you never came this way before, but you seem to go down a different way. You go to this kind of overlooking, the best way to say it is kind of an overlooking bridge that arcs over the huge warehouse where all the golems are being kept down below. Which, while the warehouse is generally dark down there, you can just see their glowing blue runes in the dark.
I think Tahlu would try to ignore actually looking at the golems because he knows what he did. He knows they're the reason. He's the reason that they're powered up.
And the whole time that you're walking, Tara's just humming the whole time. As you finally,
It could very much be a walk of silence.
oh yeah. As you
Playing
walk-
coy with my sister, damn it.
What's that?
What?
What did he say?
He's very like getting defensive around his sister. Straight up, you better not. Don't you fucking dare.
I know.
Tahlu has done nothing of the typical bard since the beginning of this.
I know, I'm just razzing. But I mean, it's the one of the few times Sin gets to be a brother, and he's not even there for it. It's just funny as shit to me.
Oh, I know, but I'm saying if Sin were to say something to Tahlu when Tahlu gets back, or just the idea that he spends time with her now at this point, like later on.
Sin's gonna be a little jealous because he hasn't been able to actually be with his sister in a long time.
Tahlu's gonna be very much the idea of like, oh yeah, she's, we're having a great time talking and getting to know one another, and
You're gonna watch him turn red and green out of frustration and jealousy.
That's always gonna say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and we're gonna learn something new about Sin that day.
He might be 19, but he still acts like a child.
Yep.
Yep.
Very much so. And after walking for about 20 minutes to get to the right area, you're back in that underground dojo area that you saw before. And you're like, okay, this is a bit large. And you walk through a different area where you see there seems to be a lot of kind of like war contraptions. Like, you see that there seems to be ballista down here, catapults and shit. And you're like, the fuck?
like this
What?
whole siege.
Like, who the fuck was this man? And who was he about to fight with under this place? And then you see that there's an area that's cleared out in the far area where you have about a good 200-300 yards just to yourself of area and feet. And she says, this is the place. This is where we will meet to have combat training and to teach you how to manage Zalider.
All right.
Have you begun to have dreams of Avalier?
Is she asking, or is she like asking for clarification?
She's asking.
Oh. Tahlu's just gonna nod.
It's good to understand that just because that's the memory that you're seeing doesn't mean that the memory is accurate.
She's just gonna get a confused look.
You see it as kind of like rubber temples in a way that you realize that sin also does exactly the same. All right, let's start at the beginning then. What do you know what Zalider can do?
Well, based on experience, I know temple doors usually don't stand a chance against a large blast. Neither do skeletal dragons, and according to the dream, neither do giant constructs.
Okay.
So I imagine like inanimate objects are very susceptible to his power.
It does seem to do a lot of damage to things like that. So, with that being the case, what do you know of what it can do to other living beings?
Well, I know when I mishandled and trusted someone I shouldn't, that it took a lot of lives.
Yes, do you know how that happened?
As far as I remember, there was a large explosion and I went deaf.
Okay, let's try this in a different way. Have you ever purposely fired Zalider to kill someone with murderous intent? And you notice at this point she's kind of like stepping in close to you and is like in front of your face motioning to you.
He's just gonna look at her and nod, give like one solid downward nod of only one, and he's no longer here.
Okay, so there's progress to a degree. Let's see. How would be the best way to go about this? All right. You see all of a sudden the gauntlet suddenly lights up on her arm. As all of a sudden, very almost think of it as Mysterio and Spider-Man. The room and everything around you seems to fade away into a different setting, where you look like you are sitting off in a forest area. You can hear birds, you can feel the breeze. If you didn't know better, you'd swear that you were outside in some forest. Even as you're kind of sliding along the ground, it feels like you're sliding over grass and not actual stone.
So it's very much of a full.
It's a full immersion. Now, with that being said, you are going to defend yourself, and I want to see how you do. And you see her step back and kind of fade away. And all of a sudden, you hear sounds like footsteps moving through the forest quickly.
I think I would grab my my whip.
Easily grab your whip, pull it
and
out.
then look around, trying to get an idea of what's coming on.
All right, so as you start to look around, you see all of a sudden what looks to be the best thing you can guess. They look like some kind of generic versions of fighters come through just wearing all black and wielding swords to just kind of run at you clumsily.
They're what?
They look to be as clumsy as possible, like humans that are wearing all black, like the guards you've seen around here, except they're not even running directly at you. They're kind of stumbling towards you, swinging their sword back and forth.
I think, considering this is supposed to be training for me and to learn how to use Zalider, I'm going to. It's kind of almost a look of annoyance on his face as he raises his right arm, and he's gonna start charging a shot for one round. But he's gonna aim for like the center of the group, but not a single individual, but the ground itself.
All right, go ahead and roll damage for Zalider.
Ooh. This is after that 1-round charge, right?
That is correct.
Okay, so that's 5d6 plus 3.
Correct.
Where is my? I got a little pill caddy with all my d6.
Quick! Heavy fate!
You dick.
Hey!
Sorry, it's only one of them.
You know what? I will do it again!
I can only roll it once.
I'll do it again!
Let's see, you said 5d6? 5.
Yep, that's 5d6 plus 3.
And one of them has to be metal. Okay.
Technically 6d6 because it does sonic damage if you fully activate it. When you have it charged for a round, you get the sonic boom.
Let me get the freaking 6th one. All right. Ooh, shit. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Plus the 3. So 25.
Nice. So with that, you fire off, and boom, there's a huge explosion that hits the little crater into the ground, which, ironically, you see from the crater in the ground that you can see stone under the grass, and you can see that the two guys that were rushing you just blasted apart. Ironically, though, you see them like slam into a tree. You see like their bodies split, guts fly all through the air, and then a whole illusion ends. And you just hear Tara saying, "You shot the ground."
He's gonna look at her. Yes, area of damage. You hit more than one rather than just focusing one.
Which might not kill, and you have a weapon that can kill.
You don't have to win a fight by killing.
And you see it just kind of like blankly, like blink at you 3 or 4 times. Like she's trying to comprehend what you're saying. Like you.
I mean, Ruin understands that.
Like basically, it's Tahlu talking reason to someone who's basically bloodthirsty in battle.
You see her like rub her nose again, which it's very disconcerting how much her and Sin have the same mannerisms. You can see it now. You're like, before you were like all scary and difficult. Now you just look like Sin. Now I see the sister of Sin.
Now you see the annoyed teacher part of, I'm trying to explain this to you, Ruin. Now I'm trying to explain this to you, Tahlu.
That's even better.
You have a Godkiller that is designed to put out high amounts of damage to things and people. I understand that your heart may cry out for all those souls that were lost, blah, 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 blah. But what I'm going to need you to do to effectively train you is to make sure that you can actively hit things with Zalider on a regular basis. So let us try this again. Or would you need a live target? I'm sure that some of these guys here can volunteer.
There's people there?
Oh, they're not in there, but you've seen people on your way down here.
Oh, okay. I was going to wait to see if I can see a reaction from someone. He's just going to sigh back. That's fine. I will do as you're asking for training purposes.
Excellent. Then let us begin again. And you see the illusion kind of re-come up, and you see the same 2 clumsy guys come running out at you.
Are they side by side or?
They are slightly staggered and side by side. The one to the right is a few steps ahead of the one on the left.
I kind of want to get to a point where they're almost in a line.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Line them up.
Would I be able to do that?
Yeah, you'd be able to shift 30 feet to the side quickly and fire.
That's exactly what I'm going to do then.
All right. Roll to hit.
Roll to hit.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
What's that going to be? My range?
Oh, no. Zalider has a +6 to hit.
Oh, so just a straight +6.
+6 for your first one and a +1 on your second shot if you want to try to do 2 and don't move.
I'll do 2. It's gonna be a 12 +6 and use on a +1.
And what was the second one?
The second one's gonna be 11.
All right. With that, you easily hit both of them, and they almost virtually seem to disintegrate as you see burning hole marks in their chests. And all of a sudden, you just hear some clapping. Excellent, excellent. That is finally your first 2 confirmed kills with Zalider in our training. Now,
So I was just gonna look at her like, oh, okay.
oh, is this too easy for you? Do you need me to ramp up the difficulty? So be it.
That's not
And
at all.
as you hear her kind of fade away, you see the entire forest outcome kind of disappear. And you now see yourself standing in front of this completely terrifying black landscape, seemingly blasted black stone. A huge castle made out of black stones rising in front of you with screams on the inside. And the skyline and sky behind it is in a deep crimson red. And you can immediately hear the sound of hoofprints charging towards you.
I think at this point, I was just gonna raise his arm. As soon as the illusion started, he is already charging because I had an idea of that. Like, okay, I just insulted the trainer, so she's gonna hit me hard.
Oh yeah.
So once it's charging, he's gonna be like, "This isn't at all what I meant." And
from what you can hear behind you as a storm is beginning to brew overhead, as you can see that there is a headless horseman with a flaming sword charging on a huge black stallion directly towards you from the opposite direction of the castle.
Okay, so wait, is the castle...
The castle is in front of you, and the horseman is charging from behind you. You are on the front of the drawbridge to the castle.
This is a peculiar situation. I get 2 shots.
You do.
I'm gonna aim the first shot at... Let me see, what would probably be harder to hit. I mean, I'm aiming the first shot... Not necessarily... It's the headless horseman on a horse, right?
It is.
He wouldn't be the headless horseman if he wasn't on a horse.
Okay, I'm aiming for the saddle.
Okay.
I'm using siege mode on him, and then after that, I'll try to blast the shot at the castle itself.
All right, so you're trying to activate siege mode?
Yeah.
Okay, as you do so, you see the Zalider grows in size and extends out to allow you to kind of brace yourself. Roll your attack.
Ooh, 19 plus 6.
Okay. Comes
And
out
then...
25 will be able to hit.
Okay, so then that's going to be the 5d6.
It is.
Oh, I'm sorry, it's 66. That's 12. 11. What's 12 plus 11? 23?
23.
24 total.
All right. So with that, you blast the saddle, and as you actually hit the saddle, the oddest thing happens. You see the horseman leave the horse and come floating through the air with a huge red cape flying behind it. And this huge, now you notice that the sword isn't like a regular long sword. It looks to be a huge bastard sword that bursts into flames as he's floating towards you, about to attack you with the second attack.
I think, so I sights. I got movement, right?
You did.
I want to move away because I imagine he's already adjusted his trajectory to land right where he needs to. I'm gonna move backwards.
All right.
And then fire that last siege shot at the castle itself.
Okay. So if you're moving backwards, you're moving towards the castle and you're going to fire at it?
Yeah.
All right. Roll another attack.
Oh, is that going to be the +6 or +1?
Oh, it's the +1. It's your second attack this turn.
Oh, it's going to be 13.
Oh, you go to fire at the castle and actually miss, ironically, from about
Damn.
60 feet away. As you kind of try to turn and fire and just rip. And as you miss, you hear behind you there's a slamming and sizzling sound. As you look behind you and see that the fire sword is melted into the ground and is causing what looks to be almost molten lava from the impact. And as it picks the blade up and points it towards you, it's going to rush in and attack you. Ooh. Yikes. Alrighty. Well, that's one natural 20. That is 125. And then a 25. Minus that. A 21 to hit you for the third hit. So 2, 4,
definitely.
6. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dicey. Oop, and I forgot an extra one because it's all fire. So that's 3. Ah! I dropped it. Damn it. That's fine. I have another one. 3, 5. Okay, on the bright side, you only take 7 points of fire damage, but you take 10. Ooh, that is 22, 23, 24. Plus 7. You take 31 points of damage from 3 quick stripes from his blade. Oh, actually, I forgot to add in his additional damage. Never mind. So you take 31 points of damage as you are hit with 3 quick burning blasts against your chest, which hurt from this huge sword. And he is going to try to make a trip attack against you, as that is part of his thing. But that part fails.
I was like, can you trip something with a long ass tail?
Oh yeah, you can be knocked prone.
That's funny.
If you can lay prone, you can be knocked prone. So yeah, while it's difficult to do for you, it's possible. But yes, it is your turn while he is standing in front of you, or it is standing in front of you. Large
How
sword
close
and
is it?
beaming. Oh, it's right in front of you. It's like literally trying to hit you with this sword, but it was only able to hit you 3 times and was unable to trip you with the last attack.
All right.
I will say that all of it felt very real, and you're down to 58 hit points.
Yep, I see. I got it on my calculators. My calculator. Yeah, these next 2 shots are going straight at him.
All right. So you're going to fire at him right standing in front of him?
Yep.
That provokes an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, it's fine. Fuck it.
I mean, it wasn't the worst. That's a 13. I don't think that hits.
Actually, that hits exactly.
Hits your AC?
My AC is 13.
How the fuck did your AC become 13? Do you not have your armor on?
Unless the sheet doesn't update it.
I mean, without your armor, it's a 13. I might not have put it on you. Your AC should be a 17.
Well then, I guess I was going off what the sheet told me.
Ah, yes. Your AC should be a 17 with your armor.
Oh, okay.
I forgot about that when we upgraded. Never mind.
Let me, I'm going to make a little note here.
Don't worry, I'll correct that. But that's going to be another strike. Oh, and fire damage. Give me my fire. Get fire on him. That's another 10. It's another 12 points of damage for that one attack. All right. So you get your attack off. He hits you, but you still get your attack off.
17 plus 6.
17 plus 6 hits.
Okay. That's going to be 10, 12, 14, 20.
20 points of damage, which he takes hard on the chin. All right, are you attacking again?
Yes. Wait, does that get the...
Does that provoke attack of opportunity?
Yeah.
It would. If he has combat reflexes, normally everybody gets 1 attack of opportunity, unless they have a feat that lets them get multiple attacks of opportunity.
Oh.
So yes, firing a ranged weapon in melee combat with out some type of feat to let you do that. Provokes an attack of opportunity on every attack from
Oh,
every
wait.
person that surrounds you. So if there was a group of people, they jump you.
I was gonna say, wait, I still got my fucking whip in my hand.
You do, which is technically also counts as a melee weapon, but a ranged melee weapon.
So wait, would that still count?
You can get away with it. I'll give it to you since you're trained with it.
Don't say that. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to knock the shit on with the whip.
All right.
Mm. Ooh, wait. Do I get the +3 or the +8 considering it's a second attack?
For this turn, it would be a +3.
Okay.
Technically, if you're dual wielding, it's even lower than that because you're not used to dual wielding at all.
Nope.
Because Warmaster Zalider generally requires you to brace with your other arm to fire it, or it would blow your arm off from the recoil. I mean, Zalidar is like literally having a Mega Man Buster cannon on your arm. Like, it has impact when you fire it.
Gotcha. Well, I rolled a 19 plus the 3 or whatever it might be lowered to.
Well, you're not technically trained with it, so the penalty on your second shot would end up being a -2.
So it's a 17 total.
Yep, which the 17 would miss. Point blank range, you fire it and just swing and completely goes right past it. To which you hear Tara say, "Don't panic, use what you actually have."
He's like, I have a whip in my hand.
You are supposed to be an adventuring student, and you were able to kill Renwick, and you can't fire a gauntlet at something right in front of your face?
I can't piss off an illusion.
To which you see it begin to swing its arm up again, and all of a sudden it just fades away. With her standing about 3 feet off behind you to the right, just kind of shaking her head. You have Zalidar. You have Zalidar. You, Zalidar.
And Tyler's just like, well, had I not been attacked before I got to clarify on what I was speaking on, I just didn't see the excitement of, as you put it, having 2 confirmed kills when I have thousands of bodies on my head already.
Combat kills. Killing innocent people, anyone can do. Can you kill an enemy in combat that is attempting to kill you first?
It looked like, well, Renwick's dead.
Tahlu, the amount of power you have is something of legend. And as you are probably painfully aware, there are many things in this world and beyond that want it. Either to destroy it or for themselves. And when they come, they won't smile, they won't laugh, there won't be time for jokes. It'll be only whether or not you and everyone around you dies or whether or not you kill whatever comes after you. And my brother happens to be one of those people that will be near you. So you need to take this seriously and be prepared. With Zalidar, you could topple kingdoms.
He's just gonna look at her like, it's not the kingdoms I want. It's not the power I crave. As I've seen what happens to those who crave power. I'm not so simple as to desire what so many others desire. And I think that may be possibly why me and Zad are meld so well.
You see her kind of narrow her eyes at you. And then you see her vision shift slightly to the left of you for a moment. And then you hear from behind you, "So how is the training going, partner? Is it ready?" As Zero comes walking past you. Remind you, there's nothing around you all within a 200-300 foot radius. Came out of like thin air.
I think at this point, Tahlu's not even. He's like, yeah, that's a Zero thing now.
Mm-hmm. To which Tara just says, "Progress is slow but steady, sir. It's good, that's good. It needs to be ready. Whatever the cost." And kind of turns and looks at you for the first time, Tahlu, with a smile. And from what you can see, you actually can see that there seems to be some bruising, as if he's been in a fight recently.
Interesting.
Well, with that, I'm off to report to our illustrious leader the state of your, looks up and down at you, progress. And he turns and steps into his shadow and just drops right through the floor. And you see Tara give out a deep breath afterwards.
He's just gonna look at Tara, and he's gonna just, and probably in the only way time she's, I mean, other than probably the island, where Tahlu's gone completely serious. He's gonna look at her and question, what is his interest in why I'm ready or not? Or, I'm sorry, it.
Those are our orders. And around here, you follow orders.
His or Sprada's?
Sprada's, our master.
He's just gonna look at her and scoff like, "You're a master."
And with that, time is running short, so we need to begin again. The illusions, will step them up. There'll be realistic danger. If you should happen to fall, I will try to revive you. Or, if you happen to not be able to revive, most of what's destroyed around here is replaceable. With that, she steps back away, and this time it's more of a city-urban setting that you're sitting in. But the streets are all empty. It's at night. And you just see a flash across one of the rooftops in front of you as something jumps across in the moonlight. Unnaturally quick. And then you just hear a voice say, "Tahlu."
I think at this point, Tahlu's just gonna put the whip away. Like, for one, I know what she's wanting is me to use Zalider. For two, this is that bastard, and you know what? I get to relive fucking him up again.
Yeah, it seems like she thought of the proper way to motivate you in the moment. In which you see Renwick jumping out at you from different shadows and things like that. But the oddest thing is there's more than one. There seems to be an almost endless number of Renwicks.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out if I never saw him use any kind of duplicates.
Nope.
So I imagine she's skinning these illusions as him to elicit that sort of response.
It's a valid response to think of.
So yeah, I just start charging and firing at these damn things. Actually, before I do, I'm gonna ask mentally. I'm gonna try to reach out to Sage Warmaster Zalider and ask if there is another, if like siege mode, if there's another way for me to do damage to living objects.
Make a will save.
I think I'm gonna fail that one.
Did you get no response?
There's just gonna be a heavy sigh from Tahlu, like, oh, fuck.
On the bright side, though, you realize that as long as you seem to focus, sometimes you hit your second shot and you don't, but you hit enough of your first shots to kind of keep them away from you, but you do realize that if you don't constantly keep up the string of firings, they would overrun you quickly. So it's one of those where you're not pushing the threat away, but you're not allowing it to get any closer.
It's basically at a stalemate.
Basically. But you do realize you've been firing for, you don't know how long, but it feels like it's been a long fight. Fast forward 2 hours later, as you are finally done as the illusions, the last scenario of illusions finish, your arms feel like lead. You are damn near exhausted. And you see Tara just kind of look at you and says, that's good. Only 995 more hours to go of training, and then you should be ready.
I think as tired as he is, he's just gonna be like, he's just not gonna respond. He's like, it's gonna be one of those looks on his face, like, are we done then?
You'll be escorted back to the castle. I'm sorry, to Aegis Academy. Come with me, and with that, you see her turn and begin to walk off.
He'll follow, and then like just he's gonna ask, any messages for your brother?
She doesn't say anything for quite a few minutes until you see that there's a large carriage with 6 horses ready to take you back. It has 2 guards that are sitting on top of it, and another 2 guards that are driving, and 2 more guards that are sitting on the back.
He's just gonna look at her like, it's that look of like, the fuck is with this overkill?
And as she opens the door and gets in, she doesn't say anything, but she leaves the door open for you to get in.
I guess I'm following along.
As you get in, the curtains are pulled on the carriage, and you guys take off. You don't know how or where, but you know that after a few minutes, you can feel the carriage on, sounds like regular ground, and then you can hear entering the gate and entering the actual city limits.
And I guess at one point, through like just through the silence, he's gonna ask her again, like, so nothing for your brother?
If I need to speak with my brother, I will speak with my brother.
He's just gonna nod and like, okay. I have a question. Did you control the image that hurt him, or was that? And he's gonna leave the name hanging in the air.
You just see her kind of look out of the window. Just let him know that things are being taken care of.
He's gonna just sigh. You know he'll listen and probably believe any explanation you give him.
Silence.
He'll leave that at that.
But you can see clearly that there's, as always, the same type of look, ironically, that Sin gets when he's thinking about something. But with that, you pull back up to the academy and pulls into the actual academy grounds. And in the courtyard, everything pulls to a stop. She says, "You're back. I will see you tomorrow afternoon, 5 p.m. Do not be late."
I don't think I have any other plans.
With that, you step out of the carriage, As soon as you touch down, the door closes. It takes right back off out through the gate at high speeds, and you can hear it racing through the city.
I'm just gonna walk in. Actually, I'm gonna head straight to the headmaster's office.
Easy enough for you to do at this point. As you get back, as Sparta seems to be sitting there, as you're there in the late evening times. As you come up to the door, you can see that the door is open, and it looks like Sin and Wanda in there helping to file through files, while Sparta's doing the same at his desk.
Tahlu's just gonna step in slowly.
And without even looking up, Sparta says, so that brings all of the active members of Team Moonshadow except for Luna herself.
Without any kind of snarky remark or anything, he's just gonna ask very straightforward. What other plans do you have for me and my Sage Warmaster Zalider?
To which Sparta kind of stops and then looks up at you. For you to be trained to be able to handle Sage Master Zalider from this point forward.
I asked because your brother seemed very interested on my progress, as if once completed, there's a task to be at hand.
But you see Sparta kind of look at you for a moment, kind of tilts his head. He reported that there was progress being made in your combat training, but there is no further plans for you, Tahlu.
Your brother seemed very eager for my progress. I also know he was the one that Sage Warmaster's daughter was to go to once it was removed from me.
That was another plan from another time. And 0 isn't an issue that you have to be concerned about anymore moving forward.
I understand, just... I'm sure you understand my hesitancy to trust others with me.
It's understandable, Tahlu, and he kind of stops for a moment, puts the folder down that he was looking through. How would you like to proceed? I guess that's not something that I've technically asked you. Or kind of looking over at Sin. I would imagine this also concerns you to have a say in this.
I'll kind of put the files that I'm looking at down. While I do know to a certain extent that my sister is bound to serve Tenebris and its leader, she still has duties to perform in the Melnox household. At least, if my plans work out, she will still have duties to perform in the Melnox household. So a certain degree of leniency to that would need to be renegotiated.
Understandable. What does that have to do with the issue of Tahlu at this point?
Tahlu at this point I see at a similar crossroads in the sense of he is still his own person. He might be a member of Team Moonshadow, but if he were to choose to make that different, I can't stop him, but I would wish the best for him. If Tahlu doesn't feel comfortable, I'd like him to tell me, and whatever he chooses to do with Zalider, I hope it's a righteous and just cause, and I hope that he succeeds. So, even though training might be difficult under my sister, as I've had first-hand experience myself, I don't feel that anything should be withheld from him, which I don't believe anything has. Am I correct in that, Headmaster?
You'd be correct. I was very direct in my statements about what I plan for Tahlu and Sage Warmaster Zalider. I have no alternative plans or motives.
And Tahlu, I would hope that those words are enough to satisfy you in the sense that Sprada wants proper discipline and proper application of the power you now wield. Not saying that you don't have it, just saying that you have a finer degree of control is what he hopes for, and so do we. I know that you're not the happiest with what a previous teacher of Aegis Academy had happen. So, if you are suspicious, I'd like to hear it, but I trust that the headmaster will keep a certain member of Tenebris away from you. That way you don't have to feel as if you are being watched with ulterior motives.
He's just gonna smirk and say, right, the member who seems to meld with the shadows and become one with darkness itself. Keep an eye on him.
I'm gonna kind of give a shrug, like, I'm trying here, I don't...
So he's gonna look at him, and he's like, saying all the pretty words in the world is not gonna make this easier.
Well...
I will continue with your plan, Headmaster. I simply wanted to make sure that my concerns were noted on, while I still do trust your motives, I must question the ones of those around.
I can understand that, so allow me to let my actions speak louder than my words. And you see him kind of take a moment. You see him kind of close his fist. It has a signet ring on it. And as it glows, you hear him say, "Zero, come to me." And the room darkens for a moment as a few seconds pass, and you can all sense as the door behind you closes that Zero is standing there.
Charger right here. The wire for chargers right there.
Which he immediately drops down to one knee and says, "Yes, master, you summoned me."
Oh, that's creepy.
I was like, that would have caught me off guard.
I want to see the look on Sprada's face when he says that.
You mean Zero's face?
No, Sprada. I want to see how Sprada responds to that.
I was gonna say it's a, you know how they say if looks could kill. The intensity of his look is something that you've only ever seen probably of him in combat, as if he doesn't like Zero being here most of all.
So,
and that he doesn't like the whole master thing in the slightest. Forebrow creased, eyes narrowed, hands still clenched, completely tense.
Gotcha. I wanted to have a smart remark, but I was like, I don't even think Tyler would be in the mood at this point. And not even for Sprada, but actually directed at Zero, like, motherfucker, you know what you're doing right now.
I was informed that you personally went in to see Tahlu's training today. Of course, Master, I was giving you a progress report on the training of him and Tara. Which, when he says Tara, he looks over at you, Sin.
Oh, there are definitely some daggers being stared back at him.
As this was your order, sir, I wanted to make sure that you were fully aware of everything that Tara, again looking at you, Sin, and Tahlu, along with their Godkiller weapons, were doing. Master, with another deep bow. And you hear Sprada kind of say, Tahlu, would you prefer it if you never heard from or saw Zero again?
So I was just gonna look. And what's the look on Zero's face when he says that?
Zero is bowed down on one knee and staring at the ground with one fist crossed over his heart. I would say make a sense motive check.
Alright. It's gonna be a 14 plus 6, 20.
We'll say that you caught a brief flinch when you realized that Sprada was addressing that question to you, as if that's not something he has any control over.
So I was just gonna look down, and based on the flinch, he's basically understanding that these two are not on the same page.
Oh no.
So obviously there's no... It's very much the idea of it clears Sprada of any ulterior motives. However, Zero's still suspicious. Tahlu said, we'll word it this way. Well, Headmaster, seeing as you do have such a load on your plate, though my teammates seem to be helping, which I am happy for, I would actually ask, or say that I would be comfortable with him giving a bi-weekly report and seeing him only once every 2 weeks. Simply to let you know how it's going.
I can agree with that. Even one better. From now on, Zero, you take all your reports directly from Tara, and you are not to come into contact or within range of Tahlu within 500 meters. To which you hear Zero kind of visibly shake and kind of look up. Like, if that's the case, then I can't even be in the compound when he's there. Correct. You will not be able to be. I'm sure you'll find something to busy yourself with in the meantime. This is also the last time you're allowed to speak to Tahlu at all. And Tahlu, if you happen to see him again, feel free to give Zero whatever orders you would like. And Zero, you are to take those if they are my own orders. Is that understood? And you see Zero stand up and visibly begin to shake.
I am definitely stifling some laughter.
Oh,
I'm not.
Oh, I am.
Tahlu's actually horrified at this idea.
Oh no!
And you just hear Zero Sprada say in a very cold tone, "Acknowledge, Zero." And through gritted teeth, you just hear, "Yes, Master. Be gone from my sight." And you see him immediately turn to walk directly into his own shadow again and just fade away.
Tahlu's looking at Sprada like, I'm not certain that all of that was necessary.
Actions speak louder than words, correct? Now, if Zero is ever in your presence, regardless if who may have said so, he now has the same rule to follow your direction as he would to have mine. And there's one thing I know about my brother: he does not like to have to be forced to do anything that he doesn't want to do. So until some time in the future he might find a way around that, you won't have to worry about Zero being anywhere near you.
So I was just gonna nod and thank you, Headmaster. I only worry that I've gotten more information than I expected today, and they're actually gonna see Tahlu. His stoic look is all broken at this point. It's actually finally gonna break. We've brought so much trouble, and I've grown welcoming to Zalider. But sadly, it's as if having a best friend. But my best friend is something that is the biggest danger. And it's difficult. I want to have this best friend. I don't want to have my other friends destroyed for it. And it seems through chain of events, it's affecting so many people around me. It's hard to even want to stay on the grid, as it were. So I apologize if I may have felt, or I may have made you feel as if a hand was being forced. But as my new trainer made very clear, there's forces both in and out of this world that want to either possess or destroy Sage Warmaster Zalider. And there are so many lives that lie in the wake. I can't afford to be careless.
You see Sparta kind of take a moment, kind of nod and begin to walk around the table to you. You can place a hand on your shoulder. Don't feel that demonstration was anything more than to make sure that Zero and whatever plans he has are, one, known to all of you here, and two, to me, and three, that whatever it is, we've thrown a cog in whatever wrench that might be. Which I appreciate you willing to bring those concerns to me, as he was very clear to not mention that he personally went to see your training, simply that he was reporting the training was going well but slow.
Tahlu's gonna nod and he's just gonna say, with that being said, I only have one last piece of information to offer that may be helpful to you. However, it may not be something anybody wants to hear. And if Sparta looks down at Tahlu's eyes will shift towards Sin, but not actually his head or actually look towards him.
All right, but Sparta is looking down to you. As far as running away from all of this, unfortunately, is you see him kind of pause as he begins to say this. As I was once told, you can attempt to run away from your problems, but you will tire long before they ever do. I believe that the best course of action for you is to be able to have enough power and strength to meet whatever challenge may come your way and protect everyone that you need to.
And he's going to nod, and he's just going to say what was on his mind to begin with. He's like, there was a moment in the meeting where my trainer referred to your brother in a form of respect or as a member of the chain of command, for lack of better words.
It seems to be something that is currently going on in Tenebris, which I am admittedly been a little lax about in the moment. But I plan to go there personally and set them things straight. I'm just keeping them all busy at the moment to give me time to make better plans for all of their uses.
Tahlu will nod and just like, I just felt it was information you might want to know in case. He's just going to pause like, I'm not sure how things work in those organizations, so I just want to make sure you're being safe as well, and you're keeping an eye on those around you.
Very much so. Even though he may want to, Zero is unable to even raise a hand to me now because of the curse.
That's going to get a weird look from Tahlu because he's like, because it's basically the idea of like, he's wondering if the curse went from Suzaku to Sparta.
But I can guarantee you that there are plans that are being made. My number one goal is still keep all of you students as safe as possible. Though I won't say the Team Moonshadow hasn't made that more difficult than most.
Tahlu's gonna... He might actually give a small smirk and like, in my defense, I had no intention of going down to the tombs.
Yeah.
Tahlu will pick up his hand before Sin says anything. He's like, but teammates and family were in trouble, so I had to honor the promises I've been making to so many people that I would do my best to protect anyone and everyone around me.
Well, I don't know how else to say this. Wanda, since you are here, there is something that I have for you. And you see him go back to his desk and look through the folder that he just had. I've received a letter from Opara.
Ooh,
Oh, really? One that, like, shoots over?
It's addressed to me, but I would assume because of the only person who knew that I was an Opara, that more than likely it's going to be from your father.
Oh. Oh.
Tahlu's arm is gonna, probably as tired as he is, it's not gonna be much of a glow, but it might glow a little bit.
Wanda's heart is like her whole mood's gonna just immediately drop. Right.
I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of it, but if you would prefer not to know the contents, I can go through it myself and then reach back out to you about anything that's been found out.
I don't know. Do you think maybe I should?
Tahlu's just gonna look at Wanda. Whatever the case may be, we've been facing everything as a team. You're not gonna be alone.
Given the track records of fathers, looks to Sprata, me.
Wow.
I'm not entirely sure we should face this yet.
I don't know. I would like to read it. I mean, unless if it has anything to do with me. I mean, obviously, I'm assuming he knows where I'm at now.
Come on, Tahlu.
Yes, I want to read it.
What? You said come on, Tahlu, what?
Sorry, I meant Incock. It's like, come on. You know, Sin, he's smart, but he's not exactly
Smart.
smart. Yeah, that's the best way to put it.
Wait, what do I have to do with anything? I feel like I missed something here.
Your comment of like, wow, it's like, yeah, I mean, come on. Sprata's father went through all of that trouble. My father pretty much hates my guts. So far, the only father we actually know of that's kind of hospitable is Ruins with him, because we know Jace is rather, controlling. And now Wanda's father has stepped into the picture.
So what we're saying
Everyone's
is,
father is controlling, man.
so what we're
Fingers
saying
crossed,
is
he's
there's
like, fingers crossed, he's like not at all what we think he is. But like, yeah, that's not likely.
Best case scenario is somehow he also finds out about, the this is out of game knowledge, obviously, the twin that you now have, that's the male.
Oh fuck yeah!
And they're the bloodthirsty one that he wants as like the next head of the vampiric household, and it's kind of one of those, this is a farewell letter more than anything else.
No,
Oh,
I mean, that person is not related to Wanda at all.
I
Yeah,
thought they were just like the opposite.
They're exactly that. They're complete strangers opposite. They just
they're
happen to know
complete
each other.
strangers, but opposites.
They
Yeah,
visit each other when they revive.
we're not actually related or anything like that.
That
Don't
is
you
true.
have, like, basically the same DNA, though?
No.
I was about to say, I think they were birthed from a tree, just like Luna was, or just like Wanda was the second time.
They were, yeah.
So they're just magic. They're not even.
Oh yeah.
I do want to read it though. The letter that is. I'm just nervous.
It seems to be fairly simply set, as it's just addressed to Headmaster Sprada Sindal of Aegis Academy on the outside. It doesn't have any return address. It just has Opara listed. And inside, opens it up and pulls out the letter and unfolds it. And it simply says, I know who you are. I have not forgotten. There will be a reckoning, and I will take what's mine.
Well, it's a thing to notch on the list. We got shit to deal with.
Hey, look, I get to blow up a castle. I'm gonna be happy.
I mean y'all
Wanda
kind
can-
of burnt down his house. It's kind of...
No. We would have left peacefully. He decided to show back up.
At his house?
I mean, it is
How
his
dare
house.
he go home?
Still, he shouldn't have been home. He should
How
have just.
dare you be in your own house?
Look, Sin would totally try and yell at that. Come on.
It's like we came here for a reason, and then you showed up to your own house in the midst of the shit we're doing. Fuck everything up. We could have just left. None of this would have happened. Keep poking in my fucking house.
We would have left. We would have even been thankful for it and left you a gift.
You know, we didn't hurt anybody. We were just coming by to pick somebody up.
But yeah.
I even flushed the toilet.
Am I allowed to read my letter before we go after it?
I didn't hear any of that part.
She wants to know if she can read her letter that she got.
Of course. I hadn't forgot about that.
Okay.
But yeah, Sprado hands you the letter and says, it's something that I'll begin to have plans made to deal with also.
Thank you, Headmaster. Is my mother aware?
As far as my last missive with your mother, she is aware.
Thank you.
Allowed your mother to stay in the Sindal Citadel for now.
Thank you.
That's his home or where I was?
That's where you were.
Yeah, I must say.
Yeah, so we at least know that she's safe.
Avian doesn't know where she's at, technically.
Also true.
Well, I mean, even if
buried the hatchet.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
that's a joke because it's underground.
I say, I am sorry, Headmaster, but I'm afraid I don't actually know very much about my father.
Let's just say the information that I've begun to gather upon him actually puts him in a much darker light than even I was aware of. But it's understandable. What I will be doing is making sure that everything that's going on is something that I will be able to address. I also would believe that from this letter, if he knew that you were here for sure, he would have said so.
That's good. Good.
And I'll make sure that anyone is not aware of that and draw up a contingency plan that if worse should come to worse, that you aren't the object that he's going to grab.
What else could we be talking about?
Unfortunately, that
Maybe.
will be classified.
Ooh.
You don't think he's talking about my mother, do you?
Again, Wanda, and kind of puts a hand on your shoulder. I'm going to have to say that's probably classified. There's a few things that he could want.
Does he look at me at all?
He
Okay.
does not.
I'm not that stupid.
Okay.
Oh, my wrist.
Wanda will just kind of take a few deep breaths.
I said that I would protect you, students, and I mean that.
Oh,
Tahlu's gonna be like, right. Well, what time is it at this point?
All right, this time they'd be pushing closer to about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
How long do you say it takes to get to the Temple District?
Closer on foot to about an hour.
So an hour there, hour back, 8. I get there at 9.
Back at about 11, maybe 10.
9 to 10, and
11
then
to
home by 11.
Right. I'm actually gonna go. Actually, with it being as late as it is, so I was just gonna make it very well known. Like, I'm gonna visit the Temple District very shortly. I just want to pay some respects, and I'll be back soon. Short, I just wanted to stop by.
That's understandable.
Okay.
We'll make sure that you have a guard so that way that you're not alone.
He's just like, I don't know who to ask.
It's already been arranged. Don't worry about it, Tahlu.
Already? Okay.
Damn. So I got guards for Tahlu already. Hot damn.
You think that he wouldn't have guards ready to follow Tahlu every time he leaves the goddamn Aegis?
I was saying, I think Tahlu's had guards on him like since the beginning.
It's just the beginning of the. No, you ain't going nowhere.
Like, Tahlu thinks he's alone. He's never been alone.
Big facts.
That's it. Probably the moment we realize that it's a Godkiller gauntlet. You definitely had some eyes on you, boy.
So yeah, I'm gonna go and head out to that same temple as I was before. And
Savian.
what?
It makes sense.
That motherfucker, he's gonna eat me before he guards me.
He's gonna guard you, and then when the moment strikes, that's when he'll eat you.
He's like, I hope this motherfucker gets attacked.
I mean, it could go that way. But yeah, that's easy enough for you guys to have that all marked down and have that all set. As far as everything else, you can kind of call it a rest for the night, as Sprout would usher you off to bed because you do have classes tomorrow.
Oh yeah, classes. I remember I was reviewing everything with Avarice and her team.
Yes, which all this shit, you remember how smart Avarice actually is because she was talking damn near. She reminded you very much of her mother and father at different times, which is scary and terrifying.
I ain't too worried about Jace. It's just like, okay. Terrifying part is whenever she reminds me of Celine.
Very much so.
Why, Celine's nice.
Except when she's mad.
She's a little miffed, but she's never really been mad.
Celine is a person, and she's a pretty cool person, but she's got flaws just like everybody else.
Just like any other person. Yeah.
There you go.
She could definitely be my mommy, though.
Right?
Ruin has this little book of notes about all the classes and shit now. He's like, aha, I have extra study material. Getting ahead of the game.
Very true. You do have that down. But that is where things will close for this session officially, as Tahlu prepares to go out to the Temple District. The rest of Team Moonshadow gets ready to hunker down. And Luna, who is kind of set off by herself, is isolating herself with a letter from her mother, finally, that she's been waiting for.
Yeah, I already have that jotted down as a super book of notes.
Oh yeah, they're really good notes. Now, as for the after credit scenes, the first one would be your letter, Luna. As you open up your letter, which you realize smells slightly faintly of your mother, it reminds you a bit of home. It's not a very fancy letter at all. It's not in any elegant script or anything like that. But it just says, Dear Luna. And you can see where there's just the little dots. Thank you about the person that I was dating. Apparently things are over, as I haven't seen him for days. So that's not something that you have to worry about anymore regardless. As it's kind of, you can almost sense the way that the words and everything is spread out, that it kind of, your mother didn't think this out, then wrote it down. She wrote it as she was thinking about it. That makes sense.
It does.
I'm sorry that I never explained anything to you about your father. I'll tell you what I do know. But there's a lot to go over, so I don't want to try to put it into a letter.
This bitch.
It's a very skillful dodge.
This bitch.
Like, cool, I already know, but not now.
What I will tell you is his name. It was Valentine Sharp.
Sharp?
Sharp.
Valentine Sharp.
Like a knife.
Yep.
Ouch.
Just like a knife. And he came to Wolf Pine one day out of the blue. Stayed here for a few days, and I had never seen him since.
Was a Rolling Stone.
He does. You do resemble your father a great deal. You have the same skin tone, similar horns. Very, very similar temperament.
Ew.
The next time that you come home, we'll gladly speak more about it. I hope to see you soon back in Wolf Pine. Love, Vivian.
Damn, not even love mom, nothing, just Vivian.
I mean, she is a narcissist. Well, I don't know if she's a narcissist, but Luna doesn't like that bitch. She's mean.
I was going to say, Luna also has a tendency to call her Vivian, so it's kind of a concession that she'll just go with instead of keep fighting it.
Damn, now you make me feel like I'm the bad guy.
What? Because she agrees it's not force you to call her mother?
You're all someone's bad guy, Luna.
Shut your face hole. No, it is bitch. It's her. It's all her.
Of course.
I won't hear anything else. Yep.
Said every daughter ever. All right. To the second after credit scene. We'll go back towards the Sindal Citadel as Tara's walking down the hallway. And she kind of pauses and stops as she sees Jeanette, who's also standing in the hallway, as the echoing can be heard of what sounds like something being destroyed.
I should have laughed.
And they both kind of look at each other, kind of look down the hallway where that is, and kind of both turn and walk the opposite way, away from the sounds of repeated things being smashed. And the frustrated screams echoing off the walls from Zero destroying an entire room full of things.
That sounds legit.
I feel like that's his own fault, though.
I mean, it doesn't like that matters to anyone.
Right?
It's like that moment stormtroopers are walking down the hall and they hear Vader going off. I'm just like, nope, I'm good.
Yep.
Not one of those things. I'm gonna choose life today. Turns around and walks a different direction.
No force choking for me today. Fuck this.
Like, when we supposed to report the fuck we are? You can go report. I'm not going in there. Wow, you remember what happened to Chris last week? I accidentally brought him cold coffee, snapped his neck. I'll be damned.
Like, look, man.
Didn't he want cold coffee though?
Like, eventually, he's gonna run out of things to break, and you're gonna happen to be there.
Very much so.
Wild.
And lastly, the last scene comes back down to seeing some trees high up in the mountains with snow has already begun to fall, as a figure who walks through carrying wood. Even though with his wings he could easily fly back home quickly, something about walking in the nice cool air that kind of gives him a sense of peace. And as he slowly returns and finds his cottage, you can see that there seems to be a fire already stoked, and apparently someone is home. So slowly lowering down his wooden pile that he has, he reaches back up under his arms where he keeps a hidden set of matching blades that he quickly pulls out as he silently moves towards the house. As he silently opens the door and begins to rush in, he sees a very old friend sitting with his feet kicked up and says, "You know, as quiet as you think you are," between a big pull from this huge pipe that this red dragonborn has, "I could hear you from like a mile away. You're slipping in your old age. Get better, Reed." Takes another pull. You see him slowly put the blades back, like, "You even pulled out the hawks for me. That's interesting. That's..." And this Reeve kind of slowly just shakes his head. It was like, "You could just announce yourself like someone normal would do when entering someone else's home, instead of just simply popping up out of the blue and not expecting for someone to mistake you as a threat." As he walks back outside, you just hear him chuckle and says, "Oh, I am a threat. I just would never harm you all. I love you guys." And as Reeve walks back in with the wood, says, "So, Scales, what is the issue this time? What have you popped up for?" "It's about the boy." Kind of looks around. He's not here. He's at Aegis Academy, if you've forgotten already. And you call me old. And you see Scales kind of just waves it off with one hand as he pulls from his pipe, like, "You know, he's about the right age that it's time for you to tell him." As Reeve kind of looks over at him, "I will tell Ruin when it's time and not a day before." And Scales just kind of puts up his hands as if he's like, I'm just saying. Feel like the boy should know. Feel like the boy should know. And then just quickly Scale says, "So what are you cooking for dinner?" And the scene fades out.
That was who all now?
That was Ruin's dad and grandpa.
Yep.
Oh.
His grandpa, that's a red dragonborn that kind of adopted the family.
And his father, Reeve?
Father Reeve, who just looks like an older, bigger version of Ruin.
Yeah, I'm still a little one.
Wait, your dad's bigger than you are?
Yes, I'm a runt.
Damn.
I feel chipped. I'm the run at 4'5", and you're the run at 6 flat. I got robbed.
Hey, I'm about to say, it's approaching Ruin's birth month, so all I know is
really better. I can show you my run.
Wow.
My run fits in the palm of my hand still.
Oh, Sin is gonna definitely blow up on that when it's like, "Wait, Ruin, you're also the runt?" And feel immediately gypped.
Wait, how tall is Tahlu?
Talu's
I
like
don't think
wrong.
height
I think
matters.
Tahlu.
He's like
Oh, he's a
Yeah.
length. It's right.
I was gonna say he can be taller, but Tahlu generally is overall all the way out about 6'8", but he probably normally sits himself around the 5'11", 6 foot range.
Yeah, he's not.
He's second shortest on the
much.
team, bro.
how tall are you?
I'm bigger, and I'm 5'11".
Let's see.
I'm the
Yeah.
second tallest. That feels nice.
One as tall as I am. Yeah. You
Wait.
are.
How tall are you? Woo!
Aw.
He fell. How tall are you?
About 5'11". I was gonna say, and I'm expecting a possible growth spurt
Correct.
Okay, so I'm the tallest. Oh shit.
because
Yeah.
Ruin's birth month is coming really close.
Wait, how old is Ruin?
He's
17.
barely. Yeah, let's say he's still young, 17.
Oh dang.
Yeah, 17, about to turn 18, which is why Grandpa Skills came to talk about it. It's like, I'm not going to talk about it until I'm ready to talk about it.
Okay, so I'm the tallest for now,
You're
is
the
what you're
tallest
saying.
now.
Mhm.
Wow. Wait, so
Wait, you're
wait.
6'4" and you're about to have a growth spurt?
I'm 5'11".
I would say right now, Ruin, he's probably about to feel like his wings are probably about to start molting.
Oh, yeah. Like, you think it's annoying now. Wait till one day you wake up and realize that Ruin's even taller than you. You're like, wait, no, you're still growing. You can still grow.
I stopped growing. I stopped growing when I was 16, and this was very unfair. I'm gonna put weights on your head. You're not allowed to get taller. You're not allowed to get even taller.
You are a little comrade, but you have big spirit.
Yes, it's not about the size of the Kitsune, it's about the fight in him.
That's right.
Da.
I'm just gonna hold up a fist. I can't punch you.
Can you imagine when Tahlu gets even longer? He could wrap around Sin like 30 times.
Oh,
Wanda bends over to give. I've been down to give Sin a fist bump.
actually,
It's not going to be feet. It's just how many sins can we pack into this at one point in time or another. I am not a unit of measurement, damn it.
Close enough. We can put 3 of them in there.
just slap Tahlu like you can fit at least 5-6 sins in this bad boy right here.
The people outside of the context, it's like, what the hell are they talking about?
Hey, Sin, get over here.
Like, no, I'm about 6 feet now. You about a sin and a half. About a sin and a half.
That's 6 sins away.
I am not a unit of measurement. I am a powerful sorcerer.
I unfortunately measure everything in sins.
Or as Dice Mom once said, these are little cinnamon rolls.
That would be cute.
God, he hasn't been called that since he was living at home, so that'll definitely make him angry.
Oh, I think Ruin did call him once, and Sin punched him, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna play a game of trade hits." You're like, "No."
No.
Right. So, as always, thank you all for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world tonight, but you chose to be here with us, and we will see you again next Sunday for the next episode of Aegis Academy, where our students will get to their midterms. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, the lovely midterms.
Midterms. Ooh, I'm gonna ace these tests too.
I can tell you right now, Shiguru's gonna turn his in with like smiley faces, flowers.
Wanda's been studying.
Shig, you mean?
She
No, I
doesn't
mean-
even take the damn midterms.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't think
He
Shig's taking midterms.
He calls in sick.